button, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it. You didn't even hear the doodle-doodle-doo. See, it does the same thing when I'm live. You didn't even get to hear it today. I won't hold out on you guys. Doodle-doodle-doodle-doo. Whoop, whoop. Let's go. Let's jump in here, guys. A lot of people have been messaging me. I tell you guys, I don't know Candace, man. I'm telling you. Good morning to everybody. Good morning to everybody in the chat. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really, 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 really appreciate it. You have no idea. It is the best. It is the best thing to see you guys show up like this. So, a lot of people have been messaging me about Candace and where Candace is, and there was nothing on X. Because for people who don't have X, they're messaging me on Instagram. They're saying, has anything come out? There's nothing that's come out. It's been completely silent. We're going to talk a little bit about that. We're definitely going to touch on this interview. Everybody was playing this clip from this interview that was Charlie Kirk. And he was sitting down with somebody, a gentleman who seems like he's taller than Charlie was. This guy seems like he's 7'5" or something like that, you know? Shorter than Ian Carroll, but still tall nonetheless. And it's weird because everybody played this one clip, but there was a bunch of other stuff in that interview. So I went and listened to the interview, went through it all, and I was like, okay, let's get into this because it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild how many little tidbits are inside this podcast. You know, they run through a little bit of who runs the world, the Stargate program. They definitely jump into Mortal Kombat Ultra a whole bunch. Charlie says what he thinks about Candace. And there's one part where I wish they really expanded on, where Charlie is like almost about to open up in a really big way. He's just about to open up in a really big way. And the interviewer just kind of misses it. He just kind of drops the ball. But it's okay. It's okay. It's hard doing interviews. So we're going to touch on that. Then we're going to jump over to just something that I found interesting that I want to read. And it's just talking about if Charlie really knew who Erica was. And then we're going to jump into Mr. West. It's not Ye anymore, apparently. Apparently he has changed his name. You know? That's how you get away. That's how you get away from allegations. That's what he's like, I'm just going to change my name to Ye, say the craziest things possible. Then when he's done, he's like, oh, my name's Kanye West again. Sorry about that, everybody. Sorry. It's just, there's a whole lot going on. My apologies. So apparently that's what's happening right now, which I find very interesting as well. And then somebody links it to Candace, even still. Candace is silent. There's no show Monday. They're still trying to link a good thing, an apology apparently, to Candace. We'll get into all of that. That's going to be down the road there. But let's jump into the meme bag. The meme bag is very special today. Somebody made something very, very special today. Agatha, is that how you say your name? Agatha? Thank you so much. Allegedly. This summer coming. Allegedly, maybe, perhaps, starring Coach Colin. Look at that. I'm just dodging those letters like the Matrix. Come on. That's cinema. And you did me solid on my body. There have been some people making memes with real exclusive double chins. It's like, what's your problem? You can make anything with AI. And that's how you make me? Nah. This lady right here, she made me just right. You know what I mean? I like to be a little thick. You know what I mean? I'm a brawny man. You know. She knew the assignment right away. Also, I got to let you guys know the Mint Daddy has been crowned. I know some of you put in your votes for Brian Harpole and whatnot, but it is Mikey McCoy. Who made this? Lisa or Lisi? Man, Lisi, thank you so much for making this. So he has been crowned, guys. Sorry if this is not who you voted for. He's definitely who I voted for, 100%. I'm very glad that he won. The majestic Mikey McCoy. He came down from the heavens just to be with us, walked away for our sins. Everybody knows about Mikey McCoy. And then the last one, where somebody actually, they made Candace look pregnant. Okay, fine. Made Baron look a little big in the face. But I think my face looks all right. All right. And my hand's white. So, no, okay, fine. You dropped the ball there. It's cool. But we're all Jedis there. Very interesting stuff. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the memes. Keep bringing the memes. I will keep digging into the meme bag and showing all of the memes. Did I show who made that? I got to shout out who made it. Who made that? Crystal Smallin. Thank you so much, Crystal Smallin. Really appreciate it. Anyway, let's jump into this interview. This is a really interesting interview, man. I didn't know that this was a thing. I didn't know that this interview happened. Of course, the views skyrocketed. Charlie made this interview or did this interview during the whole turmoil of him being attacked by the Philadelphia group and, having his his morality questioned while he did this. So I found that very interesting, too. Let's just jump right in. There's some very telling things. Now, the first one is just going to be what everybody heard, just so you understand when I'm talking about this clip. This is what everybody heard. Oh, and then towards Candace, I forgot. Candace is fine. She has to be. I don't know for a fact, but there's nothing happening. Now, here's the reason. I completely forgot to mention this. This is the reason everybody was messaging me talking about this, because a few people let me in on it. I think even Jimmy Dore did an interview, a video on it. They're talking about geoengineering, and people found it very interesting that all of this was happening, right? And the focal point of it all was right where Candace lived. So people thought this was being done intentionally, so they would have her in one place, and then God forbid something happens. That's where people's minds went. I don't think that's what happened. I think she probably took it as a day off. She's probably like, you know what? We can't do a show. I can't get to where we have to be. My people can't get to where they have to be. Let's just call it a day. And that's it. That's what I think, because I talked to Baron. Baron messaged me, right? So I talked to him for a little bit after he went live. So if he had the ability to message, and he said he's 20 minutes away from where Candace was. See how I connect the dots, guys? He said he was 20 minutes away from where Candace was. That means Candace would have the ability to do things as well, post on X, et cetera, et cetera. So she probably took it as just like, listen, I'm going hard, constant attacks. This is just a day to be with the family. I don't have to message anybody. Show's not happening today, I think she's just fine. A lot of people are thinking she vanished. What's going to happen? She might go live today. She might not. I have no idea. I have no idea what that situation looks like for people. I'm fine. I'm fine. I got generators. I prepare for all that stuff because you have to. I don't even prepare for weather. I prepare for if somebody tries to cut the power in my house and come after me. That's where my mind goes. Okay? Ladies, that's where your husband's mind is going when he's doing things. When he's like, close the blinds, close the windows, lock the doors. That's where our minds are going. We can be Jason Bourne for you guys, but we don't want to be. We don't want to be Jason Bourne, but we're ready. We're ready to be Jason Bourne. We're ready to be the Equalizer. We're ready to be John Wick for you guys if we have to. But we don't want to be, So just wanted to say that really quick on Candace. She's okay, guys. She's okay, 100%. I mean, come on. Prayers up as well, because when that heat goes off, hopefully, I would think she has to have a generator. Has to, 100%. Let's just get into this interview. This is the clip that everybody heard. This is the little snippet that everybody heard. Listen to this.
The real question is, I know one thing about the CIA.
Yes.
Is they're not going to leave until they get results. The MK Ultra program, when it was declassified, they announced that it was
Ted
gone.
Kaczynski. I'm sorry.
Ted Kaczynski.
Goodness gracious.
Yes.
They don't pay me enough for this stuff. Ted Kaczynski. I'm sorry. Now I finally got it.
Don't worry about it.
All right.
Do you think the MK Ultra project ever actually ended?
See that right there? That was the part that a lot of people never heard. Right? They just took that clip where he's talking about who runs the world in the intel agencies. This is the part that they never heard. He was actually questioned about Mortal Kombat Ultra and if it's still in existence.
Or just went
No,
under a new name?
we have no evidence that it ended. And I mean, also we have Operation Mockingbird too, which was another CIA program, which was that they were going to take over all the news networks and have symmetry in their broadcast communications. No, the Central Intelligence Agency is actively involved in mind manipulation of people here domestically. And that is completely against the CIA charter. You must understand, we have Congress, and they're just kind of like a peanut gallery. And then we have a super government that exists above Congress of the Department of Defense, which is the Pentagon, the Central Intelligence Agency, which is its own thing out in Langley, the Federal Bureau of Investigation. They run the country. The intel agencies run the country.
I agree.
People don't run the country. The executive branch doesn't run the country. This is why they hate Trump, because Trump was the first candidate since JFK to actually want to declare war on the intel agencies and bring the power back to the sovereign. And both him and Kennedy got shot. Makes you think.
What's the possibility that the shooter...
Now, that's very interesting. To hear him say that as being the guy who is all about, not being this guy who says, it's not in the president's power. It's very, very interesting to hear him say they don't run it. It's the intel agencies that run everything. Even with the current person in power, he's still saying that type of thing, which I find it very it's odd. It's odd that he would say that. And also the fact that he says there's no proof that program, Mortal Kombat Ultra, has ended. Very funny. And I've said this before. When Gary was having his very deceptive conversation with Mitch Snow, he alluded near the end of that conversation. He said he doesn't think that it ended, and he said he might have. He said he thinks he has proof that it hasn't ended. Weird, very weird, very, very weird. But that's Gary. That might be the coolest thing Gary's ever said in his life. I mean, his work that he's done against Turning Point, revealing sources and whatnot, that's pretty cool too. But I find that one that's right up there with Candace mentioning Looking Glass. And then you're like, oh, maybe there's hope for Gary. You never know. You never know with people, right? Gary might, in a few years, Gary might just let loose and just be like, you know what? Andrew wouldn't go out with me for steak dinners. The Egyptian planes were always dirty. This is absolutely ridiculous. I really liked Mitch Snow, and I had to do all these things. And then at the end of the day, they didn't even really let me into the club. I didn't get to be on stage. I was at Amfest, and they just put me in the front row. Yeah, he might change completely. You have no idea. Candace Owens for president. You never know. He might be like Candace for president. 2032. I hope she runs. I hope she runs one day. It's going to be crazy if she runs. Anyway, let's get to who runs the world. More of who runs the world. Listen to this. Or wait, is this the one? You just listened to that one? What's this one? Let's play it.
Manson.
Charlie Manson is another. Yeah, he was a MK Ultra. Well, I don't know if we know he was for sure.
There's a lot of speculation.
No, that's right. No, actually, in the book CIA in the 60s, they believe Charlie Manson was. Boy, I can't believe I can't remember the Unabomber's name. Anyway, so
it's all right.
Yeah.
So the real question is, I know one thing about the CIA.
Yes.
Is they're not going to leave until they get results. The MK Ultra program, when it was declassified, they announced that it was
Ted
gone.
Kaczynski. I'm sorry. Ted Kaczynski. Goodness gracious.
Yes.
They don't pay me enough for this stuff. Ted Kaczynski. I'm sorry. Now I finally got it.
Don't worry about it.
All right.
Do you think the MK Ultra
So that was a little mishap, but it still plays well. Just showing what they were talking about beforehand, because I don't want to play too much of it all at once. So I was breaking it up a little bit. Now this one is going to be geared towards who runs the world, more of it. But it's interesting because in this interview, and I should say, he mentions Ted. Okay, he mentions Ted as being somebody who could be a part of that program, right? And he talks about how it's well documented because he was a professor of mathematics and he was actually within that program, allegedly, maybe, perhaps. Okay. And then he goes on to list all of these, I'll call them, we got to use codes here, school tutors. School tutors. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? All those school tutors who just toot up the school. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about, right? He starts naming them as well as potential people who have been through Mortal Kombat Ultra. And then he ends up mentioning, who was the last person that he mentioned? Butler, Thomas Matthew Crooks from Butler, Pennsylvania, that faithful day. Absolutely terrifying day. Could have been really bad. Well, actually, it was really bad. Somebody actually did pass away. Actually, a little misstep there. Yeah, it was a really bad day, but it could have been way worse. The country could have been flipped upside down if they actually hit Prez Orange where they wanted to hit him. But he even mentions him as being potentially somebody who was involved in that program. I find the reason I find all this very interesting is because, I'm talking about Charlie being a part of these programs. You know, I think he was. I think it just makes sense. I mean, people of Quest, I haven't got to talk to people yet, but I have a few people who've messaged me who are actually from Quest, and they say that it was all weird stuff that they have to do, and a lot of them remember it. And Charlie's clearly just not talking about it because he went to one of the schools where they have the most similar test to what the agency was doing, the most similar. So anyway, more about who runs the world from Charlie. And this guy's great. I don't know who this guy is. I don't know his name, but he's actually fantastic.
Thank
And
you.
you're influencing so many youthful people to actually get involved and want to learn about politics.
Thank you.
So I want to ask you, we're going to start it off easy, very lighthearted question.
Okay.
Who runs the world?
Who runs the world? Well, the scriptures say that Satan actually runs the world. He is the prince of this world. But currently, there's an oligarchy that's really hard to pinpoint of who's actually calling the shots. And that's really what's happening in this election, is that the presidency is no more. It's really kind of a shadow government of administrative experts that call the shots, that the president is basically just a Hollywood actor or actress that goes around, poses for pictures, produce speeches. They don't actually make any decisions. And so the form and the structure of government as the founding fathers intended is no more. The structure of government as they intended was co-equal branches, but the president, not just the presidency, has authority and can sign executive orders and can make decisions and can veto bills. And that individual person has agency. He or she has a team, but that is an individual person. That idea is gone now. We now have rule by committee, rule by group, and it really is a secret society that is governing the country. Who they are is a mystery. We have some idea, but it's permanent Washington that runs this country and most of the Western world. That's people like Anna Applebaum, like Victoria Nuland. These are names that your audience might not know. Obviously, Valerie Jarrett. These are Susan Rice. These are people that live and exist to strengthen the regime, to disempower the American citizen. They do not believe in borders. They do not believe in the welfare of the American people. They certainly don't believe in God. They believe in a very, very aggressive foreign policy position, in the ever expansion of the American empire via NATO. And so right now, the people who run the Western world are permanent bureaucrats and technocrats. And then they are financed and funded by an even higher and billionaire oligarchy of George Soros, of people of that ilk and that background. And so you can see that the godless and the secular are increasingly calling the shots in the Western world.
Absolutely. Very well put. And for someone that's so well-spoken and well-read, I like to ask, what is your favorite book?
Oh, my favorite book is the Bible, but that's cheating.
This guy's a robot. I've decided. He's a robot. A very, very well kept robot, but a robot nonetheless. As somebody who is so well spoken, what is your favorite book? The paper with the writings on it that you keep as history, which one do you read to reignite memories in your frontal lobe? He's definitely a robot. And it's okay. It's okay. It's 2026. It's fine. It's completely fine. But who runs the world? Him getting into that, actually naming names. It just shows he was so... I have a video about this that I never released because I would have to insert myself saying Philadelphia so much. But I have a video, and I might, maybe I'll play it tomorrow. Maybe I'll edit it and then I'll play it for you guys. But Charlie was so close to aligning with Candace. Like, they were so close because, people paint Candace as a very, huge extremist of sorts, but she's really not. She's really not like super extreme on the whole Philadelphia thing. It's actually she's very simple about what she thinks is bad, what she thinks is good. And a lot of people, obviously there are some people who are more extreme, but a lot of people in the America First movement are very simple in what they want. It's like, focus on America, focus on Americans, don't focus on other places. Don't send money to other places. Fix here first. Like it's pretty simple. And her and Charlie were just so close to having their views align enough that they could get back together, you know, that they could get back on stage together, that they could do a show together. I think right now in 2026, that would have already happened. I think Charlie would have been on Candace's show. I think he would have started seeing, I think he did start seeing what was happening to her. You know, I think it's very easy if you're disconnected from someone. You're still friends with them, you still talk to them, but when you're seeing everything that's being said about them and you're seeing the little clips here and there, it's very easy to be taken in by that. And I think him feeling this was the first step towards him being like, oh, my friend's not crazy. My friend's not nuts. My friend's not even hateful. Like, I think he was like right there with it. I think he would have been on her show for sure. She would have just had to push for it. He would have been like, screw it. I'm losing donors anyway. I'm talking with Tucker and I'm losing donors. I'm talking with Megyn Kelly and I'm losing donors. Screw it. I'll just talk with Candace. She's one of my best friends. Like, I'm just going to do it. Who cares? What are these guys going to do that they haven't done already? What are they going to say that they haven't said already? Right? He already got the person who's like, this will be at your peril. God is going to lift his hand off of you. You should be very careful, Charlie. He already got all that. So he's probably just like, I'm just going to do whatever I want. Like, this is getting absolutely ridiculous. I don't know. I think they were like this close to just realigning perfectly. Anyways, guys, let's keep going here. We just played the Who Runs the World. Now we're going to number 4 where they talk about Stargate a little bit. Let's jump in here.
So switching gears a little bit.
Sure.
Are you familiar with the CIA operation Project Stargate?
Stargate?
Uh-huh.
No. I know many of them. I know COINTELPRO. I know Paperclip. I know Mockingbird. I don't know that one.
All right. So the objective of Operation Stargate was to measure the vulnerabilities and capabilities of paranormal phenomenon in conjunction with military operation. So they were employing psychics. It was a lot about mediumship and ESP and kind of seeing what we could accomplish with remote viewing. Have you read into any of this kind of stuff?
I haven't, no.
Oh, I got some.
Muted. Don't worry. I figured it out quick. Don't worry. Now, I got to give you the lineage. It goes Mortal Kombat Ultra, okay? Then it goes Often, right? So there's Mortal Kombat Ultra. As that didn't really go away, but there became offshoots. One of the offshoots was Often. Then from Often, one of the offshoots from Often was Stargate. So that is the lineage. It goes Mortal Kombat Ultra, Often, Stargate. And the reason that this guy's saying that they would focus on mediums and psychic abilities is because Often was already focusing on the esoteric, the witchcraft, the rituals, the seances, the ability to bring people into groups and kind of manipulate their symbolic beliefs. And then MK was just like, sit in this chair. We got to do some stuff to you. And that was just Mortal Kombat Ultra is completely different. So they were softening it, but deepening the effect that it had. Yeah, because, and the reason that they would do this is because it would be left with no trace almost. There'd be almost no trace. With Mortal Kombat Ultra, it was like people would come out Manson. They would come out just like mind blown. Okay, you could tell that there was something wrong. They're broken. And I did a whole episode. Somebody was asking me to make a playlist of all of the older episodes that I did, because I used to do some real serious breakdowns with my wife. We did a breakdown of Mortal Kombat Ultra, and it was pretty. What my wife found out about what they used to do and the clips that I found is pretty wild. Yeah, it's wild. It's wild. It's really like Clockwork Orange. And that's what Clockwork Orange was about, if you don't know about that Stanley Kubrick film. So I'll make that playlist. But yeah, what they were doing, so they had to switch over to something that could deepen the experience, but soften what they would have to do to a person. And then Stargate was like the softest version, but also one of the deepest versions. So that's Stargate. I don't believe that Charlie hasn't heard of it before. I don't know how you go to Quest Academy, you go through all those tests, and you don't ever clue in to what you were a part of. It seems like everybody who's a part of this GATE program, and I'm getting messages all the time. I'm just waiting for these people to hit me back and say that they're willing to talk about it. But how do you not realize what you were going through? Very interesting. Anyway, let's keep going.
Some books I'll give you.
Okay, you got to
It's
give
some
them to me.
interesting stuff.
All right.
There's a man named Russell Targ. He was the former director of this operation. He was a CIA agent, and he gives a little background into how he was recruited. And from the intelligence agency standpoint, a lot can be inferred by the actual metrics by which they chose to find a man that they deemed to be a psychic. And one of them was that he was claiming to see these little orbs of light. He had a near-death experience, and he claimed there's no such thing as death, that there is another birth. And I think that's powerful stuff.
Well, I'd love to learn about it.
Absolutely. I'll make sure to get that over
Thank
to you. All right. So tell our audience a little bit about COINTELPRO.
Now, what he's talking about there, he's talking about Robert Monroe there. Robert Monroe was somebody who went through this type of stuff. He went through the levels. He did it himself. He wrote about it quite frequently. And that's who he's talking about, because Robert Monroe was the one who was like, there is no death. He was the one that was talking about time and space. He was the one that would make it so you would figure out through these tests in these programs if somebody could be a quote-unquote time traveler, like Candace was talking about, Charlie said. Just really quick here. 12,000 in the chat. Dominican New York DJ. I know Black Poppy. I know Black. I know Black Poppy. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's keep going. But yeah, it's very, very odd stuff that he claims he doesn't know about it. I'm going to pull up a little Stargate stuff here. I'm going to pull that up while we're playing a little bit more of this clip. Then I'm going to jump over to the next one, which is what he thinks about Candace Owens.
Boy, Operation COINTELPRO, I got to remind me which one is which. So I think that's mind control, if I'm not mistaken.
MK Ultra.
Okay, is that MK Ultra or is COINTELPRO different?
I believe COINTELPRO, now I might be mistaken,
Yeah.
but I think it had something to do with trafficking. Now,
Okay,
MK
no, you might be
Ultra
right.
was mind control.
Totally right. Yes.
Mhm.
I don't quite remember COINTELPRO. I just remember the name of it. I could talk about MK Ultra. That I actually know better.
Oh yeah, let's do MK
So
Ultra.
MK Ultra was when, so for example, the Unabomber who just recently died. Oh my gosh, I know. It's not Timothy McVeigh. Oh my goodness. I'll think of it in a sec.
Put it on the screen.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. How do I not remember the Unabomber's name? Anyway, the Unabomber, who was a professor of mathematics, was a victim of CIA mind control operation. This is all well documented. So he was used as experimentation for CIA mind MK Ultra, and then ends up becoming, this kind of very violent, obviously, and disturbed person in the hills of Montana. I think it was Montana, yeah, and starts sending around explosive devices. And he had this manifesto, and the manifesto that he wrote was all about like the warnings of technology. But his kind of psychosis was induced by MK Ultra, which was, so the Central Intelligence. We know this because of the Church and Pike Committee that was constituted in the 1960s and 70s by Congress to look into all of the activity by the Central Intelligence Agency. That's what we learned about the heart attack gun, where the CIA can make it look like you had a heart attack by just shooting, a dart at you, taking the dart out, and then it mimics a heart attack. Makes you wonder how many people in public life actually have had a heart attack gun against them. That
Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, or Andrew Breitbart, right? You never know. Yeah, Stanley.
That's very interesting that he says that. This is what I mean by him aligning with Candace, because it's so funny that Candace, if you guys remember, Candace went into that breakdown of Andrew Breitbart when she was talking about Ben Shapiro, and Ben Shapiro making plays to try and take over certain organizations, allegedly. But a completely different walk of life. Bannon said the exact same thing while he was on stage at Turning Point. He said Ben is going to try and take over Turning Point. Said it right to his face, basically, which is incredible. It's interesting that he brings up Andrew Breitbart when it comes to that heart attack gun. I would love to know what he knows, because it was a very odd thing. And I did start looking into it after Candace brought it up. And the guy was not exactly like Charlie. Charlie was very statemently, even as a young man, such a young man at such a young age. But Andrew was a lot like Charlie, a lot like Charlie in terms of what he was willing to say. He was ahead of the curve in terms of what he was talking about. A lot of what he was talking about still applies today. You know, it's kind of like Rush Limbaugh. Like if you listen to a lot of stuff that Rush Limbaugh would talk about, like in the 90s, 80s even, it's all stuff that's like happening today. It's very funny because he would make it really funny because it seemed like such outlandish, ridiculous stuff. But slowly that ridiculous stuff is like common in today. You know, the whole, I don't know if you ever seen he has a bit that he does where he's wearing all these ribbons and he starts talking to people basically about virtue signaling. And he starts saying like, hey, you know, I have all these ribbons. And just so you know, all these ribbons mean that I support all these causes and I have more ribbons than all of you do. And he starts like, it's very, very interesting. But back to Andrew Breitbart. That's something to consider. What actually happened to that guy, right? And then what happened to Charlie? It's so wild. So wild. But I have to look more into Andrew and see what actually went down with him. Is this the clip we're on? Let's go.
Kubrick, interesting. I never thought about that. And so the essence of the MK Ultra was that the CIA was actively involved in trying to proliferate mass mind control and also being able to find an individual subject and be able to change their behavior and maybe turn them into someone who was violent, who otherwise was not, to turn somebody into someone who was very manipulative, otherwise would not. So you could take a subject, and they do this through very similar to Clockwork Orange, very similar, right? If everyone's seen that very disturbing movie where they like keep your eyelids open, they show you films, that is like an example of MK Ultra, where they take you and you completely change, and you're damaged. And they did this a lot with psychedelics. It would give patients psychedelics. They could turn somebody into like a school shooter or something.
Oh, so right there. Is he explaining his wife? Oh my gosh. No, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. He could be. Unknowingly, doesn't even realize that's what happened to her. You know, that's what we're moving on to next, where we talk about if he actually knew all this stuff about her. Little quick update here, though. 14,000 in the chat. Can you see that clearly? Somebody let loose the Dominican New York City DJ. I know black, Poppy. I know black. If you've never been to New York and you've never interacted with the Dominicans, I mean, you have to experience it. They look just like me, but they're not black. It's the weirdest thing with those guys. It's very odd. Let's keep going here. What else we got? Oh, what he thinks about Candace. Let's jump right in.
I agree.
Right now, what's happening is they're doing a name somebody and then what you think of them in one word.
Kamala Harris.
Treacherous.
Elon Musk.
Eccentric.
You got a retweet from him today.
He follows me now on Twitter. Can you believe that?
Wow.
I love Elon. I've followed him my whole life. I've read everything about him. Not everything, but I've read all the books, especially the Walter Isaacson book. I've read it carefully. I think he's so special. I hope to meet him one day.
I'm sure you will. Vladimir Putin?
Complicated.
I agree. Kim Jong-un?
Boy. Petulant.
I agree.
He seems very childish to me. So that's why I use the word petulant.
It's a good word. Kanye West?
Confused.
Joe Biden?
Confused.
Hunter Biden?
Oh my goodness. Very damaged. He's a damaged person.
Yeah, it's awful. It's awful. Anthony Fauci?
Evil.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's an evil human being.
I agree. Ben Shapiro?
Smart.
Yes. Candace Owens?
Awesome.
Charlie Kirk?
Like, flawed.
Man, great interview. Great interview. I mean, you heard what he said about Candace. Thinks she's awesome. Could have easily went with confused. That would have checked out to a lot of people who have been supporting Charlie, right? The donors, right? That would have made perfect sense if he just went with confused, especially at this point, because this video was about a year ago. Can I see the exact date here? October 14th, 2024. So over a year ago, a year and a few months. So he could have easily just called her confused and been done with it, but he chose not to. And he said that she's awesome. Says Hunter Biden's damaged. Do you know Hunter Biden's story? It's really interesting that he's done these long interviews, but they don't really touch on the whole thing, like his mom passing away and then his brother passing away. And then I think it was while his mom or brother was passing away, his dad was trying to just do the politician thing. And they did like some kind of, not a press conference, but they had cameras and everything in the hospital, in the room. And he was doing some kind of thing. It was like crazy. And he's just a kid. And his dad's like, listen, I'm not consoling you right now. The camera's on. I got to do makeup really quick. And then I'm going to just give a little speech. It was insane. It was insane. So obviously you're going to smoke crack at that point. So at some point going through all that, so I get why he actually says he's damaged. Just in case nobody gets why he's saying he's damaged, it's not just because his dad was like super old and falling up steps and stuff like that. It's because his dad's been like this politician guy, like a Gavin the whole time. He's been going through terrible things. So very interesting, very, very interesting guy. But every time I see him in an interview, it's like they just kind of lean into the left leaning politics. But I would love to see an interview where they leaned into his life, like how do you do an interview with a guy for 3.5 hours and you don't ask him about smoking rocks and being with Russian ladies of the night? You don't ask him about one night. You don't say, hey, give me your most wild night. Tell me the most wild night you've ever had. You don't do that with this guy. That would be the first thing out of my mouth. Are you kidding me? We can talk about your brother passed away. Okay, we'll talk about that in a second. Give me the most wild night. What's the most you've ever taken? That's what I would want to know, right? Where were you getting all this stuff? I would love to know that stuff. Now, there's one more clip here, and he calls Kanye confused. Kanye is no longer confused, apparently. We'll talk about that a little later. But this is the last thing where I thought he dropped the ball, and I was really, really disappointed. Watch this.
That we're about to get one of our most interesting parts. I've wanted to ask you this for a long
time.
I'm
going to be clear. So SSRIs and aliens, Aristotle, not interesting, but now we're getting into the interesting stuff.
Oh, yeah. All right. We're just warming up.
I love it.
Have you ever had a supernatural experience? Please explain.
Well, yeah. I mean, first of all, seeing my daughter be born was supernatural.
Wow.
It wasn't like I was, in some other place. But yeah, absolutely. That was supernatural. Getting married was supernatural, the best thing ever. And absolutely. I've had other moments where the Holy Spirit has spoke to me, for sure.
I can see it. I can see it. You are anointed.
I don't know about that. I'm just being used.
Absolutely. Well, he certainly is using you.
Well, thank you.
For good things.
That's a great thing to say. But if somebody like Charlie Kirk looks at you, this is exactly like the moment where Joe Rogan's sitting down with Elon Musk, and Elon goes, you wouldn't want to be me. You wouldn't want to be inside my head. And Joe just goes, so anyway, how about pizza? And you're like, whoa, Joe, hold on. You could have just asked him what's in his head. What are you talking about? Ask him what's going on in his head. Ask him what he's seen. This guy could have easily been like, what do you mean that the Holy Spirit spoke to you? And they could have just went on a whole conversation about that. You could probably get him, as you get him to open up about it, they could have probably talked for 20 minutes. Maybe he would have touched on the whole prophecy that he had in his head. Maybe he would have touched on, what he felt with Candace. Who knows where he would have went? But I felt like that was a big drop of the ball. I was really disappointed. I was hoping that they would go deep into that, and they did not. And yeah, I was sad. But again, like I said before, interviewing is a very hard thing, and you're in the moment of it, and you're trying to be nice, and you're trying to be good, and you're trying not to mess up. So you can't fault this guy. And also, like I said, the guy's a robot. Like, what do you expect? At this point, it's 2024. What are you expecting a robot to be able to do, guys? You know what I mean? It's enough that he was able to put on this suit, right? He's 7'5". I don't know what kind of suit they got. It's clearly custom, right? He's 8'9", right? So you gotta be okay with it. It's fine. It's completely fine. Thank you so much, robot, whoever you are, robot interviewer. Oh, his name is Justus Smith. I'm not mispronouncing that. It is just the word just and us Smith. Shout out to Justus Smith. Absolutely incredible interview. I would say one of the last great interviews that Charlie Kirk did. This did not have a political bend to it. It didn't have any spin to it. It was just him asking very interesting questions. I just took you through what, 1, 2, 3, maybe 8, 9 minutes of this podcast. And there's more. It's like an hour long. It is a great podcast. Absolutely amazing. Let's jump over and see a little bit more. Let's just dig into this whole thing. And rest in peace, man. What a great guy. What a great guy. Great speaker, great guy, solidly read up, just, I don't know, man. It sucks. It sucks that this guy's gone. It's crazy that he's gone and Lindsey Graham is still around, Lindsey Graham's still around like, hey, are we bombing anybody lately? Hey, y'all got, you ever see that meme where it's like somebody scratching? Hey, y'all got any more of those attacks on Iran? I need just 3 more attacks on Iran. Y'all got any? Huh? Daddy needs some money, that's all. I don't know what y'all did with Ukraine. I can't get my money. I need my money. Okay? I don't know what's going on. I tried to talk to Zelensky. There's no more money. Where are we going to get the money, y'all? That guy probably went nuts when the whole Venezuela thing happened, huh? Lindsey Graham was probably like, we going in there. Oh, God, I'm drooling. I'm sorry, Mr. President. I'm drooling everywhere right now. Oh, good Lord, I got to go to the washroom, straighten myself out. How much money is it, Mr. President? How much money is it? 13 trillion oil. Oh, God. Oh, God, I got to change my underwear. Not the back, the front. I got to go. I'm so sorry, y'all. Lindsey Graham. I used to do a lot of impressions of Lindsey Graham, I'm straight as can be. There's no one straighter. I love women. I do. You don't even know. That's why I'm not married, because there's so many of them. That's like how he goes on. It's really funny. Clearly doesn't like ladies, It's cool. It's fine. I think he should come out and just be like that. Like, why not? Who cares, right? 2026, completely fine. Everybody knows too. It's like, who cares? Who cares, man? I think he's great. I think he's absolutely fantastic. I wish that guy was on a podcast. I wish that guy was on a podcast with a few drinks in him. I would love to see that podcast. He'd be like, listen, I don't care. I mean, we can blow up any place as long as it's not America. Who cares? Who really cares? I was talking to Donald and I was like, sir, Mr. President, sir, can we just do it to Canada? And he's looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, what is this whole thing? We get money from the defense contractors. Let's just use their stuff and blow things up. There's so much land in Africa. I'm trying to explain to these guys how much land there is in Africa. We just blow up a few pieces of it. What's the big deal? Huh? It already looks like a bomb went off. Can we just do this? They'll pay us regardless. I'm kidding. He doesn't talk like that. He doesn't say things like that. He's a good man. Anyway, this person said, I don't think Charlie knew the real Erica when they married. I think she carefully crafted a persona that would lure Charlie, who was naive in this area. I don't know if he was naive in that area. He could be. It would make sense. He was a young guy. She was a little older. It seemed like it. Listen, and we don't know anything about Charlie in that regard, but it seems like from all the clips that are coming out, she's a little more experienced in the realm of relationships, right? It's clear she sought fame prior to the marriage. That's very clear. I was talking about that with Project Constitution. Sure, it is possible she changed and being a wife and mother was number one. But if you look at her behavior since Charlie passed, she is not the grieving mother and wife. She is a superstar who seems to fully enjoy her role. sometimes something stinks to high heaven, and if you care about Charlie, you shouldn't look away. I find that pretty on the nose there. I mean, good analysts, good breakdown of things. I mean, she really did seek out Hollywood in a really hard way. I mean, and then did Charlie know about everything? Maybe not. I mean, some guys, I'm a guy like this. I don't need to know everything that you did. Like my wife, I didn't need to know everything. I knew who she was, and I knew her core beliefs, and that was good, and how she treated me and how she thought of me, and that was all I need. I didn't need to know about every I don't want to know at all. I was like, don't even tell. Like, what are you doing? What do you do? Don't tell me that. So no, I don't care. I don't really care, right? I always think, like, why disturb the relationship in order to just know those things? In terms of like people have been with, it's like, no, I don't need to know that. None of that. We didn't. Some couples play that game where they're like, tell me your body count, I'll tell you mine. No, what? We're not doing that. You want to get married or not? Because if we play this game, we're probably not going to get married. I'm just saying, right? And maybe you have, and you're fine. Great. That's great. But not me. So, he could maybe have not cared, but at certain points with certain people, men and women, you should care, or you should know, because if you knew, it might change the way you saw the person, or it might make you question, okay, are you really this way that I'm seeing you now? Because this is really deep. Really trying to be in Hollywood is like that's a thing that you should probably know, right? Being on the dating shows, being on the Amazing Race audition and all of that stuff, you probably, maybe you should know about that. But also, if you're Christian, you might just go, you know what? I don't care about any of that. But then also, if you're Charlie Kirk and you know all the things that you know, seeing stuff like this might make you question things.
Erica Franzve, the host of Millennials Rock, and I'm here today with the incredible Dr. Peter Pry. He is the Executive Director of the Task Force on National and Homeland Security and Director of the U.S. Nuclear Strategy Forum, both congressional advisory boards. He has served on the Congression EMP Commission, the Congression Strategic Posture Commission, the House Armed Services Committee, and the CIA. He is also the author of Apocalypse Unknown. Thank you so much for being here, Dr.
Well, thank
Pry.
you for having me to discuss this vitally important subject.
Absolutely. I wanted to, I know we're quick on time, but I wanted to be able to touch a little bit of topics on the grid vulnerability that we have here in our country, and just basically tell the audience what exactly EMP is and what are the threats that we need to be aware of as Americans, and what our major security issue here in America is right now.
Well, an electromagnetic pulse can be generated by a nuclear weapon detonated at high altitude in outer space, basically. So you wouldn't see any blast effects, there'd be no fallout effects, but it would generate a super energetic radio wave that we call an electromagnetic pulse. This EMP would destroy electronics across all the continental United States, collapse the power grid, communications, transportation, business and finance, and even food and water would become unavailable. Mm-hmm. The Congressional EMP Commission, on which I served, estimated that given a year-long blackout that would result from a nuclear EMP attack, 9 of 10 Americans could die from starvation, disease, and societal collapse. Wow. And you could do this with a single nuclear weapon, just one nuclear weapon. Wow. And we have seen Iran, right in its military doctrine. This is basically why they want the bomb. We've also seen them practice launching missiles from short-range missiles from ships to simulate an EMP attack.
So that would be the thing that I want to know. I don't want to know about the guy that you hooked up in a bar with, but I want to know how you know the guy that was in the CIA. That's the type of thing that I would know, and I feel like Charlie would want to know that too. Not to say like we're the same person, but that's a thing that stands out. I'm not in politics, but I'm kind of adjacent kind of thing. Twice removed, we're distant cousins, but close enough that we see each other on occasion, but like not that close. But I would think you'd want to know that. And maybe he did. maybe he did know about that and he just thought it was cool. He was like, cool, I know a bunch of people too. You know, maybe that was the mindset. I don't know. But I feel like, and who am I to say, but I'll still say it. I feel like he should have looked closer. I feel like if he looked closer, it would be something to kind of look at, especially because he knew about those programs. Like you saw in the other clips I was showing, he knew all about those programs, right? Maybe he doesn't jump into the deep end like I do, but if you know about them and you're seeing this person, you got to question, like, you know, why is Miss Arizona with me? Like, why is that happening? And then Miss Arizona was in this film and she's a weird assassin in the film. And, you know, they're talking about wiping people's mind. Like it should all connect to you, you know? Why is she like super into me? Like, what's going on here? You know? And then you know about her parents and you say, what do your parents do? And they're like, oh, they're in this and they're in this. And it's like, oh, okay. They do what? EMP? EMP. That's your mom's into EMP. Okay. That's weird. Contracts with who? The DOD. Okay. How? Is your mom a billionaire? Oh, we don't talk about that. What? Huh? It's very, very weird, right? Did he know about stuff like this?
Sex sells, babe.
Hi!
Good morning, America!
Really handsome.
You look gorgeous.
Okay, this unseen footage will shock you.
Babe, that's deep in there. Give them cleavage? People want cleavage. Showcase it.
Sex sells.
Pay close attention.
Sex sells, babe.
It goes against everything in the narrative being displayed now.
You need a God and it's not you.
That's
Even
me.
that's against her religion.
Believe me, this gets even worse the deeper we go.
Hi, I'm JT Massey.
Hi, I'm Erica France.
So we've got the joking about her religious values.
That's
Even
me.
that's against her religion.
We've got a confirmation of living in California.
I currently live in Venice, California.
And now also stating she lived in China.
Because I've lived in China, I've lived in Chongqing,
There is a lot to unravel. I'm still analyzing it.
And with
modern
different
day
things.
gypsy.
In the last video, I broke down the acting career. This video is different from everything that we see today.
Very weird stuff. And she said she lived in China just now. That's actually her saying that. That's where that comes from. But then also turning points like, no, she didn't live in China. That's not a thing. Very weird. And then Charlie says, as you know, that she, in fact, did live in China. A little update here from DJ. I know Black Poppy. I know Black. 15,000 in the chat. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Hit the like button, please. Hit that like button. Really, really appreciate it. But just so you know what this video is, this is her applying for the Amazing Race. So it's like every facet of Hollywood, from the interviews of straight up deep state figures to being in movies that have very weird premises, interviewing people like Jessica Alba, trying to get into acting, the pageant world. It's like really going hard for Hollywood. And here's the thing. Why this really throws me off is because Hollywood is, when we talk about Mortal Kombat Ultra, when we talk about all of these little projects and programs, when we talk about this, Hollywood is deep. I mean, dunked deeper than Diddy dunks somebody in baby oil, deep inside of these programs. It's everywhere you look. I mean, that whole person that, and I'm gonna play a little clip of Candace talking about this dude. What's his name? Harley Patrick. That dude who was like Kanye's personal trainer, who said he would take him back to La La Land if he got out of line. He was also the personal trainer to Brittany Murphy and Aaron Carter, who have passed. And Mac Miller, I believe, as well, who's also gone. Just weird. So when I say Hollywood's deep into it, he's also Elliot Page. He's Elliot Page's personal trainer too. I don't know. It's weird. It's very weird. But Hollywood is deep into that kind of thing. So that kind of, in my mind, supports my opinion that she is in that somehow, because she was fighting to get into Hollywood. And I think that's one of the things Well, I don't even think it. People say this. This is a known thing. The people who are in these programs go to entertainment, they go to military intel, or they go politics. And there was one other field that is not, like hard sciences, right? That's where these people go that are part of GATE programs, that are part of like any, ultra, that are part of often like any, this is where they end up going, right? She was in 2. She literally said that she worked with the Pentagon. And on top of that, she was trying hard and succeeding of working in Hollywood. So, I don't know. Did he know about all this? Did he know about who she was beforehand? I don't know, man. I really don't know. Anyway, let's keep playing this really quick.
The study shows that married women with kids are the happiest. Why do you think that is? I mean, it's just nature. I mean, just becoming a CEO of a shoe company is not going to give you happiness.
Women have it so mixed up. You can have a career after children, but if you try to have a career while you have your kids, there is no such thing as balance. That is such a myth. Gigi gets those little Montessori toys every month, and there's this one that has the buckets that balance. If I put something in one of those buckets, it's going to drop down. And if I try to balance them, both buckets are filled, which is not realistic. I can't spend half of the day doing one thing. I missed out half of that time with being with the kids. So like you have to choose where your heart has to be fully with the home. You have to make that decision on your own, but you can always, after your kids are in school or after they're in high school, you can always go back to work. You can always find a way to get back into the workforce. But if you miss those precious first few years, that is so hard to make up because memories are so much more important than an added paycheck. It's
how God has wired us, and it's our nature, which is to have children, not just have a bigger bank account.
So that was said by Chairman and CEO of Turning Point USA, Erica Kirk. A little different than what Charlie was putting out there. He's like, you can't just be a CEO of a shoe company. That's not gonna hit it. And she's like, yeah, definitely. No, you can't do that. And then he passes away 5 days later. She's like, I'm CEO of the company. What? When your kids are back in school, they're in high school, you can always go back. Hey, aren't your kids 2 and 1? Huh? You got some GATE program kids that they're already in high school or something? What's going on? Let me know, because congratulations if you got a 2-year-old who's like Doogie Howser. Young people don't even know who Doogie Howser is. If like Doogie Howser just in college becoming a doctor, 2 years old, is that what's happening? Okay, fine. 1-year-old's already in high school, flying through on his last year. Okay, if that's what you got going on, but probably not, right? Probably not. Maybe I'm just being funny, right? Maybe that's what it is. Very interesting, just again. And then Charlie goes away, and then she seemingly completely changes. Some people speculate that she's in this position because I said this before, that there's some money involved or something. I don't know that to be the case. I watched Dank's video on it. It didn't really make sense. I saw something in the thumbnail about $50 million. I went through the whole video. Maybe he can correct it. You see this. You're here from time to time, Danks. Let me know what that means. How is she getting... I hope he's here. How is she getting $50 million for being the CEO? I think that's what you were breaking down in the video. But yeah, let me know. Because people are saying that's the reason she's in the position. Which, okay, I guess. But again, it goes against completely what this clip was about. I mean, he even finished the clip by saying, forget about money in the bank account. Like, that's not the thing to go after. And she's like, yeah. And this was this by Lance? Yeah, this is Lance. Lance is my Jamie, just so you know. That's what he's becoming. He took the initiative. He bullied his way into this company. For all I know, he's my handler now. I don't know. But he's been helping me quite a bit. He's a great investigative journalist. That's what I would call him, as well as many other things. He's able to wear many hats. But yeah, he's the one that posted this. He was just breaking it all down, and then he showed this just to show the contrast. Now, this is what he was focusing on, but he was showing the contrast between like what you just saw with Charlie and Erica, and then what you see between Charlie and Candace. Very interesting.
0 car accident.
First question, this is actually really funny.
Okay.
Who is the better driver?
Okay, hold on a second.
I'm going to answer this question. Actually, Charlie Kirk never lets me drive, so
This is
maybe he's
correct.
sexist. He never
This
lets
is
me
very
drive,
correct.
and he's a horrible driver on top of it.
Well, hold on, I'm very, very good. Zero
Horrible.
car
Well,
accidents.
He never lets me drive.
I'm very benevolent, okay? This is my argument. I care so much for Candace Owens. I want her to be able to tweet uninterrupted of traffic patterns.
Ooh, nice spin. That's a very nice spin.
This is the spin stops here, okay? And I will say, without a shadow of a doubt, every time, it's not even a question. I just go right into the driver's seat.
He doesn't even ask me.
It's
I'm
not
like, Charlie, I could drive. He's like, no. You're a woman.
No, no, because well, it's no.
never letting me
I
drive.
want to be very clear about this.
Bob, he's never
I want to be
seen me
very
drive,
clear.
Bob.
I don't know if she's a good driver or a bad driver. I would never make that prejudice whatsoever. Instead, it is a man's role to protect the woman. Right? And you protect them by being able to drive so that she can tweet uninterrupted. And I will attribute her Twitter growth over mine to the fact that when we're driving through the San Bernardino Valley, I have to try to avoid burning cars and she can continue to tweet uninterrupted. So
Well done.
you're welcome.
It's such love. Congratulations, Charlie. I mean,
Anytime.
you're a wonderful human being.
Thank you.
This question is so interesting, and I thought, and a lot of these questions came in that were like this, which is jarring to me, and it really shows you how social media doesn't present reality all the time. Do you ever doubt yourselves?
Of course.
And it's like, of course, right? I mean,
Yeah.
and it just shows you, and we can talk.
Hey, when did they get married? You know, what was that? That was such a married couple. That's why he was showing. I'm just talking about what Lance was showing. This is very interesting to show that that difference. You know, very quiet when the whole thing with Erica, and then all of a sudden it's like happiest guy in the world when he's with Candace. I'm just saying. Obviously, they were never like that. Candace maybe would have mentioned that, right? That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying he seemed real happy when he was talking with Candace. He seemed super happy talking about Candace. Also, a little break from DJ. I know Blackie. I know Black Poppy. I know Black. 16,000 in the chat. Thank you so much. Hit the like button, please. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys for being here. But it is very interesting to see that what's the word? Is it dichotomy? Listen, I'm not the kind of person that can use the word dichotomy. I don't know what it means. I kind of know what it means, but not enough. I don't know it enough. I know so little that I'm going to find another word. It's interesting to see that parallel. That's wrong too? Okay. It's interesting to see how different one is than the other. There you go. That I understand. We're getting through it. We're going to jump over to the Kanye stuff right now. But yeah, interesting. And did he know? Did he actually know? I don't know. Here's another example of them talking. I'm going to have to like flip this back and forth. What we got to do here? Whose face do you want to see? You want to see Charlie's or you want to see Erica's? I'm not even looking at the chat. Is everybody saying Charlie? I bet they are. Let's keep going.
That the only person he didn't mind losing a debate to was his wife says it all.
If you're not married by the age of 30, you only have a 50% chance of getting married. And if you don't have kids by the age of 30, you have a 50% chance of not having kids. You should know that. Now, I'm not telling you anything that is that provocative. It's just the data, right? Having children are a gift from the Lord. And unfortunately, our culture de-emphasizes it.
To add on to that, for the women who are getting married after 30, that's okay. I'm trying to bridge the gap here because it is okay. And
There's nothing wrong with it, right? It's
right.
Just, I find.
No, it's good. This is good.
No, if you just want happy talk, then that's fine.
It's good. God is good. You'll find your human. I found mine. And he's amazing.
The fact.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, you know, I hate to bring it up again. I mean, this guy looked real happy. I'm just saying, he looked super happy here, you know? He just looked ecstatic, you know? Let's jump over. And what do you guys think? You think he actually knew who she was completely? I don't think he actually did. I think it's very hard when there are some people who are really open about their past and they lay it all out there. There are some people who right away, as soon as whatever is done, whatever, you know, is past, they try to reconstruct their life image as though those other things never happened, right? That's part of the reason why I have this tattoo, because, you know, I may be a Christian now, but I never want anybody to not understand what helped me in my life when I was going through a really, really dark time. I don't want people, you know what I mean? I have a whole sleeve of just mushrooms because it's just, you have no idea how much it helped. So I don't want to be able to hide it ever. That's literally why I got this tattoo. Some people, they like to be able to hide everything that they've gone through, everything that they've done, to the point where, you know, in this example, they're getting rid of social media posts. They're trying to scrub the internet of what they once were. You know, it's weird. It's very, very weird. Anyway, this gentleman here has changed his name back to Kanye West. Why? Why did he do that? I don't know. He's going through a shift. He also apologized to the black community. He said to the black community, which held me down through all of the highs and lows and the darkest times, the black community is unquestionably the foundation of who I am, and I'm sorry to have let you down. I love us. Beautiful apology. Even Bill Ackman is, now this is how you know that this is pretty serious. I mean, Bill Ackman sharing this apology, you know, from Ye, says it's an important read. Milo is sharing it. Kanye took out a full page in the Wall Street Journal in order to make this apology. Now, I have to say, it's pretty funny that he's like, put it in the Wall Street Journal. Those people read the Wall Street Journal, put it in there. You could have just put it on X. He just made a real big assumption. You know, they're all looking into taxes and, you know, economics and stuff like that. They're always like reading about that. So just put it there because that's how the most of these Philadelphia people will see it. Huh? Hey, man. That's like him apologizing to the black community. And where is it? Where do you find it? On No Jumper. Hey, man, what the hell? That's what you think of us? Well, those people are just watching nonsense, No Jumper stuff. Those people over there, they're reading the Wall Street Journal. So let's put the rest of the apology over there. Hey, man. Hey, not fair. Not fair. I've never read the Wall Street Journal in my life. I watched No Jumper quite a bit in my time. Good call, sir. Good call. And I'm one of the better ones. Good call. Very good call. So Bill Ackman is even saying to give this powerful apology a read. Now, in this apology, I will break it down. He basically is apologizing to Philadelphia and everyone who is Philadelphia adjacent. He is apologizing. He is saying that when he was young, he actually was in a car accident. He said it affected his frontal lobe. He said that he wanted to apologize. He wasn't in the right state of mind throughout this time. He wanted to talk about being diagnosed and the fact that he had this diagnosis. People ignored it and they're just calling him crazy, but there's actually something very important for him to do in regards to taking care of himself. So he just lays out this whole apology and, you know, good for him, right? He already did that video where he was sitting down with a Philadelphia priest. Can I call it that? Or could I call him that? Sorry. He already did that whole thing where he apologized. He was holding this guy's hand, you know, and this old guy that can barely speak English, somebody's translating for him. Kind of like what Candace said she had to do when she was with PragerU and there was a cancellation looming over her head. She had to go and meet with a, you know, rabbi, and she had to apologize and it all went away. Kanye did the same thing. It's kind of all died down and now he's making like another apology, I guess putting it out there to everybody. So interesting stuff. I mean, I'll even say the last thing. He says, my words as a leader in my community have real global impact and influence. In my mania, I lost the complete sight of that. As I find my new balance, or sorry, my new baseline and new center through an effective regime of, is that meditation? No, medication, therapy, exercise, clean living. I have newfound, much needed clarity. I am, what is that word? I am pouring my energy into positive, meaningful art, music, clothing, design, and other ideas to help the world. I'm not asking for sympathy or for a free pass, though I aspire to earn your forgiveness. I write today simply to ask for your patience and understanding as I find my way home. Love. And then he says his name at the bottom there. So he's pretty serious about this apology, right? He said he's going to start making meaningful art, music, design, which to me translates to, I'm going to get back to making billions of dollars. I just want to make sure I have a bank to put it in. Is that okay, everybody? Oh, it's not what he said. It's not what he said. Oh, it's not what he said, guys. It's not what he said. But, you know, you got to read between the lines a little bit. Just a little bit. He's like, I'm getting back to making clothing and art and this and that. I just plan on having so much money. I just need to not get kicked out of Chase. Can I just set it up? I'm just saying, I'm not saying anybody runs Chase. I'm just saying I got to really make sure I don't get kicked out of Chase. I'm going to have a few $1 billion, okay? You guys understand here? I'm just saying. I mean, come on. You know, and then people started connecting this to Candace right away. Of course, this guy connects it to Candace. This guy is like, I don't know. He's like Gary. He's like Gary from Paramount. He says Candace is in shambles right now because this guy apologized, lost touch with reality, et cetera, et cetera. So they're even trying to connect this to Candace somehow. I mean, even the top comment. I mean, it's a little funny. It's a little funny, but not really. It's Candace Owens here. This is Ye. And she says, I don't want to play with you anymore. Yeah, I get it. That's kind of funny. You know what I mean? You got to appreciate a good meme. But, you know, the fact that they're trying to connect this to Candace is very silly. I doubt she cares. I think the same way she had grace given and was giving grace to Charlie, the way that they had their relationship, where they would say nothing bad about each other, no matter how they felt about their stances. They knew that they just disagreed on certain things. Why wouldn't Candace do the same thing with him? They're friends just the same, right? I mean, Charlie and Candace were much closer, but she's still friends with Mr. West, right? So why wouldn't she give that same grace? She's not going to care that that happened. She's going to be like, oh, good for you. Like, I get it. I completely get it, you know? And then somebody says, you think she will say they forced him to do it or they would have offed him too? Because, of course, come on, buddy. That's, you know, you're just saying things who are evil. I wish she could have lived. What does it say here? Oh, my God. I really wish she could have lived the life of a Islamic radical wife. I think that might have changed her mind. Ew. This is a reverend? Oh, God, you're gross. You're not even really a reverend. This is a fake person for sure. No way you're a reverend. It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. But, you know, Candace, I don't know if she's going live. I don't know if she's going to go live. So I don't know if she's going to say that they forced him to do it. But I'm live right now. I'll say they forced him to do it. Because obviously, what? Did you see what happened to him? Of course, that's what's going on. And not even to say anyone forced him to do it. He is in a position where he is forced to do it. Of course he is. I mean, it got down to the point where, have you seen his daughter? Let me show you something. Have you seen what his daughter is turning into without him being around? Northwest face. She doesn't actually have face tattoos, but the way she's presenting herself here, it's getting really crazy. She's starting to live stream, right? Let me see. Come on. These are actually people getting his daughter's face tattooed? Ew. What? No, that's not what I'm looking for. It's showing me a store called Northwest Tattoos. That's so weird. But the way she was, you know what, I'll just say Northwest. Kanye daughter. That's all I'll say here. You know, basically his whole family was falling apart, right? This whole thing that was happening, you know, this is what his daughter was starting to look like. You know how horrifying that is? Now, these aren't real. She might have like just put those on, scare tactic for her dad, but this is what she's turning into. You know what I mean? And for a dad, when you're not connected to your family because for some reason they're not allowing you around the kids, it probably gets real hard. It probably gets real scary to have that type of thing happening. So to say anybody forced him to do it, no, right? Just like, you know, nobody could actually turn to him and say, you have to do this, because he doesn't have to do it. He could just keep on living life. He could move to an island. He could move to a tropical place and be like, I'm rich. I'm still doing this. He could still make music. He could do whatever he wants. But once they got his family, that turned into a different thing. I released an episode a while back where I was talking about, maybe I released it on my other channel, but I was talking about how Kanye had this interaction with Kim Kardashian's mom. What's her name? Kris Jenner. He had this interaction where she's staying very calm. It's very eerie. It's very handler-like. He's yelling at the top of his lungs, right? She's saying that something about how he feels doesn't matter. And he just starts going off. He's like, it does matter. It does matter. He starts really going nuts. And everyone in the room is just completely calm. And nobody's moving. No one's reacting. And you can tell, like, oh, they have such a grip on this guy. Like, he's like surrounded by demons right now, surrounded by them. He has no choice. He has to do this in order to get his family back. He really does, you know, in order to get his support back, because his core support was always the black community. He has to apologize, you know, if he wants to do what he wants to do. And be the father he wants to be, he actually does have to do this. So he was kind of forced into this position, you know? Why would anybody apologize about anything unless they had to, right? And you know, I should say there's a caveat there. Sometimes you feel moved to, sometimes you feel like you have to. But with everything that he went through, everything that was done to him, the people who were doing it to him, whether it was friends or families or executives, etc., it was crazy. It was crazy what was being done to him. So of course he's apologizing. Listen, do I think it was heartfelt? Maybe. I don't know. I kind of don't. Here's the thing. I think it was heartfelt, because if you're trying to be in your kids' lives and someone says you have to do something, you're probably going to do it with all your heart because you really want the kids. But is it because he really wants to apologize to these people? I don't think so. I think it's part of what he has to do to get back to where he wants to be, right? Like Candace, like when Candace, she talks about it. When she had that whole thing where she was with PragerU and she had to apologize to that guy, it was like something she had to do. And then the thing went away. Kanye just wants the thing to go away. That's all he's looking for now, right? And it would be the best for him, because now all of the contracts that were holding him like just wild contracts, in perpetuity type contracts, just terrible stuff. All of these contracts have been broken because everybody was like, we don't want to deal with this guy. We can't be with this guy. You know, everybody was virtue signaling, getting rid of him as quick as possible. So now when he makes music, now when he makes clothing, now when he makes anything, it's just his, right? And there's very few people who are in that position. Candace is in that position. Candace did what she did, right? And I'm not saying she did it for the same reason, but in doing what she's done and standing up the way she has, everybody removed themselves from her, right? Except for the Daily Wire and owning the Candace Owens show. But other than that, nobody wanted to be affiliated with her brand for a while. And that freed her up to be completely independent, truly independent. She's more independent than all of the people you see who say they're independent. Aside from like someone like me, Baron, Ian, like I don't talk to anybody. There's no people. There's no people helping me, right? It's like Ian helps me the most. Baron helps me the most. You know, like they say things about me. If I ask them something, they can answer a question, but that's about it. There's no PR team here. There's no clippers working for me. There's no machine backing me or anything like that. There's very few of us like that in this space. Very, very few. Some people will act like they're in that space, but they do have backing that they just don't talk about. I mean, let's be honest. Everything that happened with Tenet Media, do you remember what happened with Tenet Media? With Dave Rubin, Tim Pool, Benny Johnson, a few other people. Like they fell victim to a scheme, they say, but here's the thing. Some of them were getting like $400,000 a month. Now, again, they didn't know it was coming from Russia. They were victims of a scheme, like they said, but they do seem independent, but had this backing of $400,000 a month that was probably helping them out just a little bit. How many more people do you think are like that? They fell victim to a scheme. That's what they say. Fine. How many people do you think haven't fallen victim to a scheme and they just have this backing behind them that nobody knows about? There's probably a whole bunch. There's probably a whole lot, you know? Ben Shapiro hemorrhaging subscribers, hemorrhaging views, just terrible, terrible metrics, right? Why am I outperforming Ben Shapiro? That's a weird world. That's very odd. I'm just saying. So yeah, Kanye ends up apologizing. And was he forced to do it? That's what some people are going to say. Candace is going to say. I decided to say it first. He was forced to do this. He was. Look what happened. He got thrown out of banks. All sorts of stuff happened to him. It's crazy. It was nuts. It was nuts what happened. And you haven't seen it since. You haven't seen anything like that since. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, man. Anyway, I'm going to play this clip. I wish I could find this interview. Anybody finds this interview, please, because I don't know this dude's name. I know this dude, but I don't know the dude that they're going to play in the video. But listen to this clip when we talk about would Kanye be forced to do anything. Listen to this.
So Candace Owens was on the Jason Lee show, and she got asked about Kanye. And the answer she gave, nobody was expecting. Check out this clip.
Yeah.
I will always love Ye. I will always defend him because I think he did one of the bravest things in speaking about what happened to him, and the questions were never answered about what Harley Pasternak did to him that night. And I think it's what was done to Britney Spears based on my readings of MK Ultra program, which has never been stopped. I think Harley Pasternak it's extremely problematic. And he's literally telling you what happened to him and no one's listening. And everyone's like, he's gone crazy. They drugged me against my will. And when you read those experiments of how they could literally give somebody a mental disorder via a cocktail of drugs, LA becomes very scary.
Who was that? I didn't hear
Harley
that.
Pasternak, the trainer that trains all the stars that keep dying in baths.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Aaron Carter, when he reached out to Kanye, and when Kanye said Harley Pasternak did this, Aaron Carter tweeted at Kanye and said, we should talk, and then that was his last tweet.
So she brought up Hollywood trainer Harley Pasternak, who was also a trainer for Mac Miller, who was also a trainer for Brittany Murphy. Similar unalive events. But the crazy thing is what he texted Kanye. He texted him saying that they can sit down and Kanye cannot cuss, and they were talking facts. And he doesn't want to hear what somebody else told Kanye. And the second option was for Kanye to get institutionalized. And he said he would send Kanye to Zombie Land and play date with the kids would never be the same.
He found out that my trainer was a MK Ultra Canadian intelligence.
He worked in the defense research and development in the Canadian military, essentially working on PSYOPs in the Canadian military. This is Harley Pasternak.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, look, they tried to medicate me. I was exhausted. They wrongly diagnosed me. And they when I asked them, how much lithium did you want to put me on exactly? It took them 4 days to answer because they were embarrassed about the amount.
Now, you just heard what he just said. Now think about go read the apology, right? He says wrongly diagnosed. Go read the apology. I don't know. It's weird. It seems like, and I don't know his state here. Seems like he's telling the truth in that clip. The apology's saying something else. I don't know. But again, you think Charlie and the messages that Charlie was getting were kind of like, whoa, this is a lot. I mean, Charlie said, he's like, this is crazy what's happening. Megyn Kelly is saying the same thing now. People need to really watch out for her. Imagine getting that text, that they're going to do that to you. Not, hey, this will be at your own peril and, you should read the Bible and God and this and that. Not that. Somebody saying, I'm going to do this to you and your life is going to be completely different. Do you think that stopped? Do you think they stopped saying that to him? Or do you think that they kept on saying that to him? And eventually, either, allegedly, maybe perhaps, they either got a hold of him or it was started getting real spooky for him. I don't know. And then you see your family breaking down and you got kids and you got a son and you know that they're growing up and you're not close enough to them. Anyway, let's keep going.
The medication, I would not be here and it would have been, he was deeply troubled. We miss him. We love his music though.
Well, they would have Britney Spears you.
There you go. See what I mean? He knew. So, just putting it out there really quick. This clip was actually funny. This actually spoke to what was going on with Kanye as well. This is a clip of Dave Chappelle. Recently, Dave Chappelle, a lot of people, maybe you don't even know, he had a special, right? In regular Dave Chappelle form. It was great. And then he ended it off with, he's like, what if they get a hold of me? What if they learn how to co-opt me? He goes, and I go away and then I come back. He goes, there has to be a term that I say that there has to be a term that I say that I would never say. And as soon as you hear me say that term, you know for sure never to listen to anything else I have to say again. And then he's like, and that term is, I stand with Philadelphia. And then he throws the mic in the air. And I'm like, wow. And that's how he ended that special. I haven't got to watch it yet. I haven't had the time, but man, oh man. He's good friends with Kanye as well. Very interesting stuff, man. Very, very interesting stuff. Let's keep going here. This is a weird one. I'm just going to play this really quick. This is very odd. This is the person who wrote that message to Charlie. Okay. And they're just like in a romance hotline or something like that. Project Constitution showed me this video. I'll just show you just the romance part. It was really funny. Come on, play it.
Are you over 30 and single? You can find love and romance right here on the telephone, on the Romance Hotline. Just call this number, and all you have to do is listen. You'll hear recorded messages from exciting singles over 30 looking for love and romance.
The Romance Hotline, 1-900-909-8000. $2 first minute, 45 cents additional minutes.
Why not call now? All you have to do is listen.
So I went to Israel.
I like how that ended. But apparently what is happening here, because I was talking to him about this, it seems like this person, again, you can see her in all sorts of things. It's very odd, right? So there's the romance thing. Then this is her as well. That music has to be copyrighted. It has to be. Okay. So you see her in many other things. And what I gathered from this, I'm like, oh, she's very much like an Erica Kirk in the sense of she's really, really trying to get into Hollywood. And on top of that, interviewing people who are high up, right? And I just found that interesting that person who sent that message to Charlie is also the same type of person that Erica was, right? And I say was because Erica could have changed. You don't know. We don't know. Yeah, very odd. Also trying to get into Hollywood. Again, Hollywood's very deep into all this stuff I've been talking about. Not saying that this woman is, one of those people, one of those participants, but just very interesting. You're trying to get into Hollywood real hard and it's not working and you're doing all these commercials and you're doing this and interviews and this and that. And the next thing you know, you fall on a show that's called Focus on Philadelphia. And that's your show. It's a weekly show that she does. What? Very weird. And then on top of that, you decide that you have Charlie Kirk's number and you're going to send him messages that seem like threats. Very weird. Very weird. But that was just like a short one that I wanted to play. Let's jump into the super chats, ladies and gentlemen. Let's jump in there and see what we find. 17,000. Oh my God. I don't even have time to write it down. Let's go. DJ, I know Black Poppy. Ding, 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 ding. I have to. What does Dominican music sound like? It sounds like Brazilian music. It's like. I should play a song. I should. Let's jump in here. Like the video. Yes, please. Like the video. Just like what was that guy's name from yesterday? Robert Barnes. Liar. Just so you guys know, Wolves in Finance is a liar. So, like the video. Like. Absolutely ridiculous, man. Let's just jump right in. Let's find these super chats here. I can actually just pop them out. Where are they? There they are. I'm getting better at this, man. I'm getting so much better at this. Is there a bunch? Okay, there's like a chunk. I'm sure more will pop up, but let's just jump in here. Move this over here. 17,000. The goal was, and I thought this would happen later on, the goal was to get to 15,000. That was my goal for the next coming weeks, was to get to 15,000, but apparently something happened. So thank you guys so much. Really appreciate it. Heather Diaz, back in the game. What's going on? Morning, coach. I bought you a cup of coffee in the morning. Diaz del Campo, big last name. Yes, that is a big last name. You can just say Heather. Allegedly, maybe, perhaps. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. And yeah, I saw that. I saw you bought me a coffee. Thank you so much. That's like an option for people if they feel like doing that kind of thing. Chris Nobody, $9.99. Wait, there was something else I was supposed to talk about. Many parts of Tennessee are without power and Wi-Fi. Okay, good. So that's like a little update on Candace there. There was something else I was actually supposed to talk about. What was that thing? It was on Instagram. Something about Satan. Have you heard the good word? No. Something about Tim Walsh and Satan. I'm not making it up. It's not even a joke. Here, let me see if I can find that video. I found it very weird that he's doing this. Let's see if I can find this thing. It should be like the first thing that I saved. I saved it this morning. Ah, there it is. Perfect. Let's jump in here. Check this out.
Live at you from the Minnesota State Capitol. I am on the ground floor, and as I was leaving my committee meeting today here earlier, I noticed that there is a new display here at the State Capitol, and it's for Governor Walz. It's right here on display. So let me see. I mean, I guess I can't flip my phone, but I'll see if I can show it to you. So this is what we have here, everyone. Let me read it to you. The Democratic Coalition of Satan Worshippers thanks Governor Tim Walz for not standing in the way of spreading Satanism in the State Capitol building. Satan has a special place for you. That's right, everyone. So the Democratic Coalition of
Satan has a special place for you. The last thing that you want to hear is that. That is the one thing that all of us don't want to hear as we go through life. We're hoping that there is no special place for us with Satan. That's what we're all hoping. We're like, if it's true, if everything that we read in these books is true, we're really hoping that there's no special place for us down there. And for Tim, it is in writing, literally etched in stone. Well, have fun with that, sir.
Of Satan worshippers, they have given some sort of plaque here to Governor Tim Walz. So let me be the first, I guess, to congratulate Governor Tim Walz for this very special award that has come from the Satan worshippers here in the Minnesota State Capitol. Yes, everyone, this is true. I am live, not making this up. You can't make this up. I don't know what else to say.
Oh, this lady's never gone down a rabbit hole before. And this is probably just shocking her. To me, I'm like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. With everything that he did. His wife said she opened the window and was smelling burning tires. And she just left the window open because she wanted to smell it. I was like, oh, okay. Like, I know what that's all about. This lady's just like, apparently there's a plaque. And this is really crazy here. No. Maybe she's one of the good ones. You're in politics. They're all Satanists. Anyway, not all of them. Probably 91%. Probably 91%. Then there's 9% that aren't. But they're all like admin people. They just, they just do stamps and stuff. They don't know what's going on. The rest of them in Senate, in Congress? Oh gosh. Because if they weren't, they would try and tear down the system that they're benefiting from. And I don't mean like flip over the board and like, cause, civil unrest in the country. I mean, they'd be like, we shouldn't have all this power. They'd be like, we shouldn't be able to stay in this position until we're 97 years old. Right? They would do that, but they don't. So, just saying. Anyway, let's jump back to the super chats. Yeah, there was so much that I wanted to talk about there. I forgot about all that. There's other thing. Also, I guess the ICE thing that happened. That guy, I think his name's Alex Preddy. Preddy was his name. Everybody was up in arms about that on both sides. And it seems like if you play the video, and I've seen a bunch of videos, I can't play. It gets too violent. Someone's getting shot. But if you play the video, there is a point early in the video, you have to see it very early, where he reaches for something, right? This is early in the video, but you don't know what it is. And then when he's down, he gets disarmed. And then I guess the rest of the guys don't know. And then the shots go off and the guy's life ends. And I think it's absolutely terrible. But, oh man, there's so much to it. Here's the thing that nobody's talking about in regards to this. All of this stuff started happening after this. There was this huge campaign for regular people to join ICE. If you notice, before there was that huge push and campaign, none of these incidents were happening. There's probably a lot of guys. Tom Holman was a cop in New York. His dad was a cop. His grandfather was a cop. He worked in law enforcement for a decade or maybe more. Then he went to Border Patrol. He started from the bottom. He rose up. He ended up running it through Obama all the way till now. This guy's seasoned. And the few people he has under him, directly under him, they're super seasoned as well. Like black people food seasoned. You understand? And I had to make the joke. I had to make it. I'm sorry. We're talking about seasoning. What am I supposed to do? I'm not supposed to make that joke. I have to. Can't let it slip by. But the people who are coming up now in those ranks, right? The guys who just joined out of nowhere because they saw what was happening to the country and they're like, if I can join, let's join. Those guys aren't that seasoned. They're not that good at what they're supposed to be doing. I just noticed that. I just noticed that right after that push, it's been 3, maybe 4 months since that push. And now we're seeing all these weird things, these terrible things happening. There's probably a correlation there, right? But also it's there's just the whole thing of don't impede these guys. Then there's the whole thing of only shoot a guy if you know he has a gun, right? And you know he's going for it. Hard to be reactionary. It's hard to react to someone else reacting, especially in that situation. But if you're more experienced, it's something that you learn how to do. I have a family member that's in law enforcement, and he was actually online. There's actually a video of him because so many people filmed this whole thing. And now he's up there. He's like a detective, catches serial killers and stuff. I think he's in digital forensics or something like that. But when he was walking the beat, there was a situation where somebody had pulled a blade out on him. So he's on the ground wrestling with this guy. And people don't see what's happening. So everyone's filming him and screaming, get off of this guy. What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. All the things that people do. And he literally, while he's trying to wrestle this guy, he's looking at all these cameras and everything. And he actually, I'll tell the rest of the story after. But he points as he's wrestling this guy. He goes, look, that's a knife. He had a knife. Okay. I took it away from him. That's why he doesn't have one now. But there it is. Okay. Please stop what you're doing. Please just move back. So he handled the situation well, but it was a wild situation. And he got so mad. He was so so pissed, he actually took off his belt and he like was offering it to people in the crowd. Like, you do it. You do it. How about you? How about you? None of you guys? Oh, okay. He went off. He went off. He's a great guy though. Absolutely amazing guy. But yeah, man, it's you gotta know. And even he's saying right now, he goes, the guys who are coming up are so soft, but that's law enforcement. I guess it's different than ICE, right? But that situation is just so wild. So wild, man. I mean, all loss of life is bad. I'm not gonna all of a sudden turn into what they turned into when Charlie passed away, where all of a sudden it's a celebration. You know, I don't want to say he effed around and found out. I don't want to say that. It's loss of life is bad. It's bad when there's loss of life. And what we know about the guy, he was like a nurse. You know what I mean? He was just he's a nurse, and he just thought, oh, I'm gonna intervene and do all these things. You know, he thought he was gonna be a superhero, and it didn't work out that way at all. I don't know, man. I don't know. Things like that just suck. They absolutely suck. But early in the video, do I even have the videos? I don't think I do. Early in the video, while he's still up, he's not on the ground. He's up. He goes like this, but everything's happening, so he doesn't know what to do. No one knows what he's reaching for, but they do see a reach. Then they get him on the ground. One guy takes it and runs off, and then the other guys don't know if he's reaching for something, and the shots go off. It's like there's clearly a miscommunication here because there was like 7 guys on him. But also, when you want everybody to go home safe that you work with, there's going to be 7 guys on you. So it's like this whole thing, man. It's like you gotta stay out of what they're trying to do. You really do. And that goes for all, I think that with all law enforcement. I'm one of those people. I'm super respectful. I've had terrible things happen with law enforcement, but overall I try to be respectful as possible, and just, I don't know, man. Now the guy's gone. Was it worth it? Was it worth it? Right? And are those guys going to answer? And then that's not even the first one. Some lady got her face blown off. What was that, 2 weeks ago? So it's like, you see what I mean? Like all these, and then I saw another one. Somebody got their hand. Something happened to somebody's hand or something. It's like, none of this was happening before there was this big push of like, join ICE, join ICE. Nothing like that was happening before. Because Tom Homan was selecting the people who were going to be on the streets. He knew the guys who were going to be on the streets. He knew them for years. Most of them he knew so well. He selected them by hand. He said, if I'm going to come back and do this, these are the guys that I want for this effort. And then all of a sudden there's this huge push, and that's not what he has anymore. He has a bunch of amateurs. And you're seeing amateur stuff get pulled off. I don't know. It sucks. It sucks. You know, Jimmy Dore was talking about it. You know, people, here's the thing also that a lot of people don't talk about. We used to in the tinfoil community, we would all say, you know what, when it comes to the world, you know, we used to say Agenda 2030. That's what people used to focus on. Agenda 2030. It's crazy. Agenda 2030. That used to be the thing that people talk about, right? Still do. That's like the more current one. Before, in the tinfoil community, it was all about martial law. It was like, you better watch out. The things that they're doing are going to turn into that. And it's very weird that you're not really seeing that, but it looks like it. Like if you know what they're doing, you know, you understand they're looking for certain people that are not supposed to be in the country. Okay. But if you took a tinfoil alumni, if you went into the Wayback Machine, Brian Harpole was like, step into the Wayback Machine with me. We're going to go to the 1970s. We're going to go to 1982. I love 1982. We can fight it out all we want in 1982. Let's go. And then you grabbed one of the tinfoil alum and you brought him in and you made him watch that and said, what does that look like? He'd be like, oh my God. He'd be like, oh my God, it's martial law. Oh my God, they did it? What year is this? What year is this? He'd go nuts. He'd be like, oh my God, it finally happened. I knew they were trying to do this. And we'd have to explain, like, no, it's like there's all these people and they're not supposed to be in the country. And he'd be like, how'd they get here? Oh, well, you know, one of the presidents let him in, and then the other president put this initiative. He'd be like, what? He'd be like, they're playing you guys. They're playing you guys. It's 2 wings of the same bird, bro. That's what he would do. And then we'd have to bring him back to 1982, and he'd be shook for the rest of his life. For the rest of his life, he'd be shook, you know? And then that man goes on to be Balak Stones. That's what happens. That's his origin story. You didn't know that? Me and Brian Harpole take him into the Wayback Machine. We bring him to current time. We show him that. That's how he becomes Balix. Everybody knows. Anyway, let's jump back into... I wanted to touch on that a little bit because, I do want to actually touch on other things that are going on in the world. But I just never have a chance to. I mean, this Charlie stuff goes so deep, to me at least. But yeah, let's jump back in here. It's so funny, everything that you see here. I have to find a better way of doing this. I'm going to find a better way slowly. Yeah, many parts are out. So yeah, that's why Candace isn't live. She might not go live today, guys. You might just have to, hang out with Baron instead. Maybe Baron should go live earlier. Just he has to fill the position of good cop and bad cop. Pablo Disco, that's how much of your name I can see. Number 1. How did you become number 1, Pablo? Wow, I guess we'll find out as we go. Hi, Coach. Today I got my Coach Colin merch. Fits like a glove. It's an Orwell hoodie. Made a Coach meme as the Ghostbusters with Gary as Zool. Thank you. I will check out that meme ASAP, sir. But I find it very... What's going on here? All right, move this. There you go. Make it bigger. Jeez, that's pretty big. Okay, fine. But yeah, the merch, man, sorry if you're the person that it took a long time for. There's another person who said it took a long time. I hope you're the person who got the free stuff. There's another person that says they don't want free stuff. Let me tell you something, lady. April, your name is, you're getting free stuff. So, sorry, that's what happens. If we mess up, you get free stuff. End of story. You don't have a say in this. And if you keep on arguing, it's going to be more and more. You understand? So, leave it at that. Because I promise you, if you keep pushing the issue, I'll send you every single thing that we have in the merch store. Every single thing. Don't play around, okay? I know your size already. I already know your size. Let's leave it at that, okay? Anyway, Cricky says, my only concern is that your title could be insensitive for people with bad intentions. I don't like feeding into bad mojo. Well, you got to get over that. I don't know what to tell you there. She vanished. We don't know why, we actually don't know why. We don't know what's happened yet. And don't get so bent out of shape over titles. You gotta just let that be, don't worry about it. It's okay. You'll be fine. I'm 100% you'll be fine. What is that? Theo? No, the Roz Rodriguez. Okay. Who runs the world? Girls. Beyonce was referring to Erica Kirk all this time, y'all. Hey, don't bring up Beyonce here. Keep that evil off of me, lady. Let's keep going here. Curious Joel, are you a mod yet, Joel? I think Whitney said you're supposed to be a mod. I made Lance the head mod, so he could be able to make you guys into mods. I don't know what he did, but it's in control. FU from yesterday. So what does that mean? Because to me, when you say FU, that means something else. So do we have a problem right now, Joel? I don't really know, because it says F/U. What does that mean? Okay, Joel? I'm going to be 40 in a few months, Joel. You understand? I don't know what you're saying, but I feel like they're fighting words, and you and me might have to go into the Wayback Machine and settle this. Go back to 1982 and settle this whole thing with a breakdance competition. From yesterday, Whitney is my girlfriend, but I hate calling her that because I feel like Kash Patel talking about his country music superstar. So I usually say fiance, putting a ring on it very soon. She's an angel. Good, man. Do it. Thank God. Yeah. Get married, man. Get married. Don't worry about the ring and how much it costs. Just get it done, man. I'm telling you, it's the greatest thing ever. Hands down, the greatest thing ever. Very happy to hear that for you guys. Let me know when it actually goes down. I'll send you some wedding merch. I'll make some custom wedding merch for you guys. Adam Owich? Adam Owich. Hey, that's not a name. Come on. From Tennessee, I love your morning show. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Let's go to the next person here. TPUSA 501c3 nonprofit can endorse political candidate but they have those hats on the table, confused. Yeah, man, I'm very confused about that too. I'm very, very confused about that. I have to say, Mallory, I'm right along with you. Charlie was very political. So I don't know what wolves in finance actually means. He's saying that there can't be, but it seems like there was. It seems like there was a lot of people who were political in that whole thing. It seems like every event was very political. I don't know. I don't know how that works. It's very weird to me. Because not only did they have the hats, it's just everything. Everything that he embodied was that. There was no, you knew exactly what kind of event you were coming to. Yes, they had dialogue where you could hear all sides and they were talking things out. And I think that's very important. But you knew where Charlie stood and you knew what he was trying to get across, you know? I don't know, man. We'll see. We'll see what happens with Wolves in Finance. Honestly, I want to see an update on that. I don't know if he's going to get another letter or if they're just going to go straight to a lawsuit or what. Or if they're going to be like, okay, he was right. He's not getting scared and they're just going to kind of back down. I have no idea. You also have to wait for an update on what happens with Candace Owens, because Candace is in a situation where she has now said, how much money is it going to cost? So now Turning Point has to come with a dollar amount. She wants to get out of that contract. Will she actually get on that contract? Oh, let's see. Somebody just updated me here. Thank you so much, Notorious. Thank you so much. She just said that Candace actually posted on X recently. Live update, ladies and gentlemen. Let's check this out. Candace Owens talking about what happened with her. There she is. Yeah, 12 minutes ago. Thanks for that quick update. Thank you very much. Of course, I got to make my screen super small again. Let me just make it real small for you guys. Look, you're in the abyss. Look, you're in the abyss. She says, regarding the power and internet outages, I will never understand why we don't bury the cables and electrical lines like they do in the United Kingdom. 1, they are unsightly. 2, it protects them from the elements. It doesn't have to be this way, America. So this is what she said. She's like really back online. Oh, wow. She's like all over it right now. Take control of TikTok. Newsom says, I will investigate TikTok to see if they are censoring content. Left and right are our politicians are cowards, right? She's talking about Gavin. She said another thing here, back online after the internet blackout. I grew up in Connecticut and have truly never seen an ice like this before. Temperature is 30 degrees, but the ice on our treetops is not melting at all. Never seen anything like this. Anyone else? Then she says here, I will take a video to show you guys what I mean. It's almost like dry ice, and it's taking an absurd amount of trees. It's taking out a certain absurd amount of trees. Again, 30 degrees, nothing like this. Oh, she's for sure going to talk about geoengineering. Oh, yeah. The next time she gets online, that's exactly what she's talking about. I can tell by the way she's prefacing that. The point of nonstop ride. Okay, so that's from before. But yeah, I've seen ice like this before. It makes perfect sense. Again, like she said, it takes out the trees. The trees just come down. Like you can grab a branch that would usually not move and you could just break it off your tree. If you're in that situation right now and you can actually walk around, you could just break it off. It's very weird the way that it happens. And you'll hear trees breaking everywhere. They'll just break one after the other and there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing. Because you don't want to take out all the trees because we need the trees, right? So yeah, a lot of people were like, because of what was happening with her, they thought, hey, maybe somebody's doing this to Candace, or maybe there's a plan in regards to Candace. But as you can see, she's perfectly safe. Exactly what I said. I knew it. There's no way that she would be in any type of danger. It just wouldn't make any sense. Because I just don't think that's going to happen to her. You know, that's just me though. I really don't think that stuff's going to happen to her. I think she's going to be okay. Because I think Charlie was onto something when he talked about her being protected by God. I really do. Even Charlie's handler thought she was protected by God. What is this? What is this? Mods, aren't we supposed to stop this? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. No, nobody do this. Whatever this is, nobody do this. Okay? Don't listen to this. I don't know what that is. What is that? What is that? Get this off of here. I'm going to call you Connor, okay? Connor says, hey, coach, greeting from Ireland. I love Ireland, man. I really want to do a show in Ireland. I would love to go to Ireland. I have an Irish name. I have a really, really Irish name. So I would love to be over in Ireland and see what's up. See if I actually can feel any of my roots. They say when you travel, your DNA awakens. Liberty Bell, Balix Tones, years ago, when it happened, talked about Andrew being the target of technology causing heart attack. Oh, did Balix say that back in his heyday before he was just like, what he is now? That's amazing. That's amazing. I'll have to try and find that. If you can find that, let me know, please. I would love to see that. Susan, whoop. I wish it said whoop, whoop. Come on, it's so close. Someone somewhere says the agency / Army document titled Analysis and Assessment of the Gateway Process, Lieutenant Wayne M. McDonald, date 1983, June 9th, produced for U.S. Army archived agency subject evaluation of method in the Monroe Institute. Yes, okay. Thank you so much for that. Do you have that by any chance? Because you seem to know it. Do you have it by any chance? If you do, can you get it to me? That'd be great. Nurse CJ 16,000 woke early to watch from SoCal. Thank you so much. Please, someone remake the Ghostbusters meme as pilots with the plane in the background saying it's time to fly. It's time to fly. That was his he didn't want to say go Max, but that's what he was saying when he said it's time to fly. You, Ian Candace Barron are all missing major player in the intel, occult, and faith infiltration. The sworn goal is to destroy Protestantism. Yeah. Believe me, I'm not missing that. I think you're thinking that they're a super major player in what we're talking about. In actuality, they're not. Not to say that they're not. They are. They're their own thing, right? And people say that Erica is trained by them. They say that Prez Orange is trained by them. I can't find any proof of that at all, but I have heard it for a long time, especially in regards to Prez Orange. And they say that's where a lot of his protection comes from, because he is one of those. He's trained by them. Who knows? Maybe that's Erica's protected that way as well. Who knows? But in regards to what I'm talking about, when I talk about the unholy mob, I haven't seen a connection to them yet. If you know of a connection, let me know. But the fact that they exist doesn't just make them a big player in something like this. That's just my thinking of the whole thing. Jimmy Dean says, Truman Show creating moats to protect power. It's all actors, literally directed and produced by Hat. Hey, man. Hey. What do you mean by Hat? But yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. The world's a stage. I hate that expression, but I know what you mean. And it shows itself more and more every day. Because you know why I don't like that expression, the world is a stage? Because people use it as a means to not explain anything. That's why I don't like it. A lot of people, I'm not saying you're doing this, by the way. A lot of people will take that phrasing and just blanket it on anything. They just smear it on like peanut butter. They just rub it all over everything like baby oil. They all the time. They're just like, world is a stage. Anything happens. World's a stage. And they just walk away. And it's like, can you explain what you're saying? It's, a lot of people do that. It's crazy to me. Let's keep going here. We got Journey of E. Journey of E. I like that. Nice and simple. That's a good name. Thank you so much. Been here for a while now. Happy you're live in the AM. You're a child of God. Live in that. God has big influence and plans for you. We never would have known you didn't graduate from high school had you not told us. That doesn't measure your worth. Thank you so much. Thank you, Mom. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. And I hear you, and I will take that in. So hard to take compliments, but thank you so much for that. Avery Bella, great job, coach. Really been enjoying your show. Thank you. I try to like all of them just so I know which ones I've seen and which ones I haven't. Because I don't want to do it over and over again for you guys. Sparky, what's up, Sparky? Scott Bassett learned the art of crashing currencies from his masters, agency adjacent Soros. That's very interesting. I have not heard that before, but I don't know much about that guy. Honestly, I should look into that guy more. Vivian Mighty, my husband was in a gifted program in the 70s, taken out of class with others in a dark room, told to focus, visualize, asked what he can see. He told his parents, get me the F out of the class. Wow, smart guy. He did exactly what Candace did. He was like, I'm not going to be a part of this. Very smart. Journey of E, once again, please tell Baron how to say Christian. Oh, do you think I can say it? Oh, if Baron can't say it, you think I can say it? Okay. He gave us a hillbilly version. Labutin. Labutin? That's what I would say reading that. I'm sorry. Sorry, Mom. I don't know. Christian Luboutin? Luboutin? I'm sorry. Listen, you're hitting up the wrong guy. If you're talking about enunciation of things, I am the wrong person to hit up. Thank you again, though. Jen says, has anyone heard Erica say Jesus Christ? I have not. Actually, she said it in the clip that I played. Here, I'll go after that. Here. Is there code word for Philadelphia God? They write it as G-D. The Lord is Tyler Boyer. Turning Point is a church now. It's disgusting. Typing in this is hard. I can tell. But yeah. I think she said it when she was on she was doing the, what's it called? The Make Heaven Crowded Again tour. The clip that I played, she said, if it takes me further from God. No, she mentioned Satan. And I don't mean it like that. She wasn't like, hey guys, you should really check out Satan. I mean, there's a lot to be said. No, she wasn't doing that. But she's saying if anything takes her further away from God, then she said, no thanks, Satan type of thing. But yeah, she keeps saying God. I noticed that. It's funny you say that. I noticed that with celebrities. There are a few celebrities that will say Jesus. That'll say Jesus Christ. There's very few that will actually say Jesus Christ. I noticed that with politicians as well. I do notice that because when they start talking about God and they refuse to name Christ, it's like, who are you talking about? Who are you talking about? What are you saying? It's interesting. Very interesting. Thank you for picking up on that. Really appreciate that. Let's keep going here. AC Movements, Kanye's, the Kanye statement from Charlie was interesting. Love the channel. Thank you so much. Minstitutions. I'm telling you, man, my wife's watching. She loves the memes. She loves the puns. She loves puns. Adrian Jones says, chemistry. Look at Christy Gnome's eyes at the podium, just like Erica's on the tour. She's just reptilian. I like how somebody could get to that place real smooth. She didn't give you a whole breakdown. She wasn't like, oh, you got to look at the genealogy and you have to really. She didn't say all that. She's just like, look at the eyes. Look at her eyes. Reptilian. I like how you got there. Smooth. I really do. I appreciate a smooth. You slid into that real smooth, like you had baby oil on the soles of your feet. I appreciate that type of thing. Did you just hear her say, I found my human? She did. She's talking about Erica. Erica's like, I found my human. I guess so. Yeah, that's true. Ladies usually say my person. They're usually like, I found my person, right? Because they're also human, but to each their own, I guess. Jacqueline, I think that's how you say that. Jacqueline's Jungle. Never be ashamed of your testimony. God uses the broken to show the glory of his love. That is so true. Thank you so much for saying that. Really appreciate that. Has anyone verified that this was not an AI created interview of Charlie? I'm coming in late, so maybe it's been addressed. The interview that I played at the beginning, no, it's absolutely not AI. It's not. it didn't happen just a week ago. This interview's been out for a year, and it's been out for a while now, and people were just noticing this interview because of that one clip that started circulating on X. And then I decided to just dive deeper into it because I was like, why isn't anybody talking about like the meat of this interview? Because it's a really good interview. And no, it is not AI. I can promise you that. I'm really good at like pointing out AI stuff. Whoa, a whole bunch of them just jumped in. Jeez. I'm really good at pointing out AI stuff because I've been doing graphic and all sorts of stuff for a long time. I have a good friend that does like 3D design. So I've been looking at this stuff for a long time. I can always tell. Body count, it was in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. I lost count. Oh, man. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. Good for you. Good. You lose count every once in a while. It's not the worst thing. Great show. Keep up the good work. Thank you. 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 My first time here. I love you personality. Keep up the whoop whoop. Thank you so much for that. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you for seeing my personality, for loving my personality. Finland in the house. Wow. Somebody said somebody didn't like something I said about like Kuwait. Somebody from Kuwait super chatted. They're like, "Oh, I didn't like what you said about Kuwait." I'm like, I'm not being reprimanded in my DMs from someone I don't know. I'm like, get out of here. What are you trying to do? Who do you think you are? The weirdest thing. And then they're trying to send me a video. Here's why Saudi Arabia is the best. I was like, get out of here. You kidding me? America's the best. How about that? Francis says, I'm just saying Francis. I could be wrong. Francesca, Francis, listen, you have a whole bunch of letters here. And listen, I don't know how to say all that. You couldn't. You have to teach me how to say that. I have no idea how to say that. Coach, we love you. Feel like we're chilling with a homie. Thank you so much. I love that. I have a shop and would love to help you with your shirt designs. Contact me in the about section. Okay. How do I contact you? I have no idea how to contact you. Do you have a website or something like that? Message me on Instagram. I usually get those. Penelope says, things that make you go, the 1998 movie, Nicolas Cage movie, Snake Eyes, where the main character's name, literally, I did a video about this. The guy's name is Charles Kirkland, and he is hit the exact same way Charlie is, in front of a crowd of 14,000 people, inside of one of Orange Prez's buildings, by a guy named Tyler. It's crazy. It's just nuts. It's nuts. I don't even understand how that happens. Yes, you are 100% right. The similarities are just wild in that movie. I can transform your ideas into stylish merch. Message me on Instagram. $1 from Comedy Channels. Hold on. You got the name Comedy Channels? How did you get that name? Are you kidding? Do people ask you for that name? I would buy that name. How'd you get that? Anyway, let's keep going. Annie Randall, coach, what's your email? Need someone to see what I've uncovered. It's almost unbelievable. Eric Smith and Scott Bassett are the key. You can always reach out. The website's there. The website has a contact page. It goes directly to an email, so let me know. And then Waterworld. Waterworld? Is that what this is? Waterworld? Water? You've been looking to transform your ideas into merch. Oh, this is you again. And I am here. I have gotten up to date and I have the skills necessary. Reach out. No, you have to reach out. When you're looking for stuff like that, you have to reach out. I can't reach. I don't have the time. You got to reach out to me, my man. Mr. Let Go. Hey, man, just so you know, Mr. Let Go, I am not ignoring you. When you're talking about going live and everything, I've just been working on making this transition into live and everything. There's just a lot of work. I try to produce stuff every single day. So I'm terrible at organizing stuff. So I'm not ignoring you, man. Thank you so much for this. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, we have to do something. I don't know what we'll do. I'll kind of let you take the wheel on that. I can come on your show. That'd be much easier for me. You just tell me when to show up and we can do something like that. I don't know when you go live, but yeah, let's work out a time. Thank you so much for this. I've been meaning to do this with you and Dee Dee, because I said to Dee Dee, I'm like, I want to collab on something, and I never got back to him, so I have to get back to him. So I'm really hoping to do something with you guys. 68 Hoodoo Baron is on Trigger Smart at 2 p.m. today. Really? Great job. Really? I had no idea Baron's going to be on Trigger Smart. I was just talking to Trigger Smart. He just messaged me. Oh, that's so interesting. Okay. I can't wait to see what they talk about. I wonder if they'll talk about the electrocution stuff. That would be interesting to see. I don't know if Trigger Smart has touched on it. I assume he has, but that was an interesting theory. I don't know if Baron's still going down that rabbit hole or anything, but you crack me up. The Elon looking like a bag of milk comment. First time I've done a super chat. Totally worth it, just to let you know that. Thank you so much. And he does look like a bag of milk, and it's cool. It's fine. Listen, we all end up looking like bags of milk. It looks like Lance decided that he had to get rid of this comment. I don't know what this person said, but it must have been wild. I'll probably find out later. Dave, I'm just gonna call you David. Shout out. What is this? What is this? SEK? What's SEK? You sent me 100 of those SEKs. Wow. You're just making it rain. SEKs, huh? What's coming out about Charlie Kirk? I'm getting more and more convinced that the fight incident would... Come on, man. You never know. You never know. I mean, I don't think it was, because like, I've had this argument with my mom. My mom's like that too, right? And the thing about it is that somebody passed away. You know, I just feel like, why would you make it so someone passes away? And how would you make it that somebody passed away? How could you do that? That means that you'd actually have to take that path, pass the ear to that person, take them out, have, Prez Orange be okay. I don't see the steps, right? Obviously, we only know about one person. Obviously the whole situation is just crazy, but I don't know. I don't know about that, because then on top of that, there's nobody who has come forward to say, hey, I think, or like the person who ran the Secret Service at the time, I think her name was Kimberly. And she was just like, oh, that roof was too sloped, and, we didn't want anybody on there. And, all these things just didn't make sense. Listen, world's a stage, right? But it seemed like she didn't like, well, I actually know for a fact she did not like Trump, right? So it was, I don't know. It's hard to wrap my head around that one. But I mean, I get it. I get it when you think that. Hey, the text you said to get off was trying to watch YouTube channel. Get off was trying to say watch YouTube channel redacted with topic of RF transmissions from people. Oh, yes, you definitely should. Thank you so much. Okay, true. I'll check out Redacted. I love Redacted. When I first started my podcast with my wife, I wanted to be like Redacted. I wanted to do podcasts with my wife, and that was like the goal. But, then the wife got pregnant and stuff, and then you just can't do it anymore, because all sorts of things happen to ladies as they're going through that whole time, and it was just too hard of a time to keep up. But I really want to get back to it. I'm hoping to be able to start a memberships thing and do a weekly show with my wife. That's what I'm hoping to pull off. I would love to be able to do that, because we had such interesting conversations. Go listen to the episodes with my wife. They're incredible. They're so good, because she's so good at research. Man, I'd love to have Honey Badger investigate these things with another G and another S. These thingings. Thank you so much to whomever talked about the deconstruction of Protestantism. Christianity wasn't born in the 16th century. Early Christianity was not Protestantism. Okay, like, relax, guys. But you're right. You actually are correct. Mikey, see, this is more my speed. We're getting that. They're getting into like a whole religious, argument here, which, is cool. But I just like a nice Mikey McCoy gives Junior Mints vibes. Hey, listen, let me just tell you something, okay? As I read that. Don't insult Mikey McCoy, okay? We don't do that here. This is not what this place is for, all right? We don't do that. It's blaspheming. You didn't know that? He's always watching. He's with us at all times. He's in our hearts. And when we walk away from situations, it's because he gives us the strength to do so. I'm just saying. Just saying, you didn't think about it like that, did you? Huh? Did you? Loving God forever, 33. April here. Okay. Not gonna push, argue, or go against you, coach. Yeah, April, we're gonna sort that out ASAP. I think my wife's already on it. Maybe she messaged you already. I don't know. We'll see. But we are definitely on it, and we apologize. Sorry for that. Ice Agent got part of finger bit off. Oh my God, the cop shot the jeez. If you carry, you're supposed to say that you're carrying before getting close. Oh, good Lord. Yeah, you're 100% right about that. Good God, that's what happened? Oh my gosh. Ugh. Wow. It's so wild that this is happening, you know, and it's happening in these in certain cities, you know, certain cities. There's all this stuff going on. It's really weird. Love you, Couch Colin. Hey. You want to go into the Wayback Machine? You want to sort this out in the Wayback Machine, Crystal? Okay. Couch Colin, love listening to you pronounce people's names. It is cute. And then you throw this at me. Withy people save the animals. Oh, we the people save the animals and children. Love you all in the chat. Very nice. Save the animals. Honestly, I'm allergic to all animals, so I don't have interaction with them much, but I appreciate. CA, I know that's Canadian, so what's going on over here, Canada? Ali Files? Ali, you're in Canada? No, you can't be in Canada. Really? That'd be very interesting if you are. But you're a researcher. What? You're a researcher. I want to make a Canadian channel. If you're a researcher, if you're in Canada, if you know anything about Canada, like let's go. Let's do it. Like, are you kidding me? Like, let's go. I had no idea you were in Canada. Maybe I'm getting that completely wrong, but let me know, because that would be really cool to do. I just want to go over. I just want to dominate in Canada. I just want to become the number one. Easy. Love from Croatia. Thank you so much. Hey, coach. My first live with you. I've watched your videos. Love your humor. Please don't change your intro, your signature style. Also, when is your baby due? God bless you and your family. The baby's due soon. We don't tell people, but it might, especially because it's a double date. So the day it's due is actually another important day. So Ferguson needs some anti-melt mints for Gary, or some spy ring and shirt pocket mints for the security team, and Coach Colin truth mints, king and king size mints. Put that into action for me, Ferguson. Okay, you have it laid out. You have all the things laid out there. Put that into action for me. Slim says, hoping you can all quit your second job. Hoping we can all quit. We can all help you quit your second job. Me, I don't have a second job. I mean, my other job is being a husband, but I don't want to quit. I'm good being a husband. I like it. I'm being a dad, husband. Those are my second jobs. I used to do Uber Eats. I keep the bag right here. So I never forget. It helps me work hard. And when I'm working at like 4 o'clock in the morning, I just look back at the bag and just, think about like, you want to work hard or you want to go back to the way things were? That's how I do it. Jay Sweeney says, the vibe I get from Erica, since one speech, the same I got years back during Wendy Wook. Wendy Wook. I get you. Good. Father of that title, that little angel, was caught on camera, then getting into character before the interview. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. The whole thing was weird. Jeez, they just keep popping up here, which, I'm not mad at you, but, they just keep pushing through. Who said Bono was guilty? Who said Bono was guilty of all of it? I don't know. Who said it? Who said it? I didn't say it. Did you? Wow, more keep coming in every time I try to scroll a little bit. Candace has posted she has no internet. Yeah, exactly. But I think she's back. Why and how did I don't know. I don't know, Steph. I have no idea what happened there. I have no idea what happened there. I have no clue why that would have happened. Where's Charlie's parents? That's a great question. I have no idea. Coach, what's with the picture of Aleister Crowley on your wall? This is Joe Rogan. This is Joe Rogan, ladies and gentlemen. This is Joe Rogan doing the ape face. That is not Aleister Crowley. It is Joe Rogan. I promise you that. It is always Joe Rogan that's on my wall. It's never Aleister Crowley. And this other one is actually Anthony Bourdain with the last tweet he ever said over his eyes, because he did not see the evil coming towards him. Okay, I have my "What Would Mikey Do" bracelet now. Oh my gosh, I need one of those. Baron, all facts finders, Baron's live. Yeah, I heard that. That's great. I can't wait to see that. I really wonder what they're going to talk about. I have no idea what they could possibly be talking about. Let's keep going here. You cracked me up. No, I already looked at that one. I'm just looking to see if there's any other ones. You cracked me up. No. Baron's live. Okay. I think we hit them all, guys. I mean, let's just get a double check. Want to make sure I hit all you guys up properly. But yeah, man, it's very interesting what's going on right now. I don't know what Candace is going to talk about. I don't know if she's going to go live. Apparently she's on X. She's saying all these different things on X. Maybe she talks about what's going on with Kanye. Maybe she doesn't. I'm just trying to check out, see if there's anything that's developed on X here. You never know. You leave for like 3 hours and then you come back. Oh, people are already posting the stuff I was talking about. Good job, guys. Thank you so much for doing that. Whoa, that Philadelphia Mints ad is too crazy. I can't post that one. That's too crazy. I love it, though. Don't let the effect stream. We can deal with it later. Yeah, that's just my mod manager messaging me. He said something I'm not supposed to do, but I don't know. Listen, I'm just here doing what I do best. What else is there to talk about? Let me just jump over here. I just want to see if Candace has said anything else in regards to going live. Usually she doesn't announce it this early, right? But maybe she actually did this time. I don't know. I would love to know what's going on with her. Yeah, she hasn't said anything. She's not going in on anybody. I would just love to know if she's going live or not. Because if she's not, it's pretty crazy. The snow feels like nothing we grew up with. That's for sure. Oh yeah, I've always thought the true purpose of NASA, spraying chemicals and weather modification. I knew it. I called it. She's definitely going to be talking about that. I just know it. I'm in her replies right now. That is so funny. I'm in her replies right now. I knew it. I called it. I was like, she is definitely going to talk about this. And of course, that is the first thing she jumps to. And I get what she means. It's very odd. There have been times, because I drive up and down, up and down, up and down. We got to do like the West Coast, but I'm up and down, North, South, East Coast. And sometimes the snow that falls on the car is weird. I remember when I was a kid, it would just kind of melt. And now it turns into like dirt. I don't know if that's from just the amount of pollution in the air, right? When you're near cities and whatnot. But now I'm not near a city, and it still happens. Even when we're just driving like straight up country road and things like that. When we're, whether it's, when we're in Ohio, when we're through, obviously Memphis, when we're in all these places, Buffalo, when we're in these places, upstate New York, when we're in these places, it still does it. It's really weird. It's really, really weird. It sticks on like dirt. And you have to clean it off. It's very, very odd. I never understood what that was or when it started happening. There's actually one video I have on Instagram. I won't be able to find it because there's hundreds of things. But it was one time I was outside and it looked like it was snowing. And I was like, oh, that's weird. It wasn't super cold. It looked like it was snowing. But then when I went in front of my car and the lights, the way it was acting, it didn't look like snow at all. It seemed like it was white. and it was snow, but it didn't act like snow at all. It was doing very weird things. And I got in my car and I turned off the air and put up the windows and drove home like that, because I was like, I don't know what this is. I have no idea what this is. I don't know. You have to look into it. Let me see what she's gonna say here. It's a gamble looking into what Candace is gonna say. It's a real gamble. Ice won't drip until the sun hitting it is like 32, 33. Yes, I should be clearer. On my deck, it's always about 10 degrees warmer than the temperature because of the sun. We'll drop a video because we have a temperature gauge on the deck. Stand by. This is crazy. So she's going to start dropping videos. Yeah, she's going deep into this. She's going to talk about geoengineering for sure. Like 100% she's going to talk about it. She hasn't posted any video on Instagram or anything, but she's going to post a video about that. We'll see. We'll see what she actually gets into. I would love to know what she's going to say about it. Jimmy Dore was talking about it too. Let me see if I can see. Oh, this is the other thing. Let me see if I can find Jimmy Dore talking about it. I don't really want to touch on it too much. It's a known thing. It's not as crazy as some people might think it is. It happens constantly. Saudi Arabia is always doing it. Always. They have to. They make it rain, I think once a week. They make it rain for a short period because they need to. So to think it's crazy is just, I don't know. Seems crazy to me. If you're gonna say, yeah, there it is. Let's see this. Let me hear this.
They knew they would be creating events exactly like what's happening right now in the U.S. Winter Storm Fern, that they will blame ultimately as a result of global warming, when in fact it's 100% engineered with chemical ice nucleation operations. But
there you go. I'm not going to get too deep into it, but Jimmy does touch on it. Here, let me see. You want to see the name of this video? Jimmy does touch on it a little bit. Winter storm, completely engineered, et cetera, et cetera. It's not Jimmy saying it. It's this guy saying it. You know, I'm sure Jimmy is interested in it. He always is. Very inquisitive man. But yeah, people talk about it. It's not the craziest thing. Cloud seeding's a real thing. It's a necessary thing. If you go overboard with it, you could go overboard with it. And yeah, I've talked about this at length. I have a friend that I grew up with forever. And he thinks what they're touching on, he thinks about all weather. He's like, all weather is just that. He's like, they control all of it. The good weather, the bad weather. I'm going to have him on the show one day. I actually want to start my own show with him, but he's really wild. You know, he'll get me kicked off. He'll get me kicked off ASAP. I know he will. He won't mean to, but he will. I know he will. We got another one that just popped up. Message redacted. What happened here? I wonder what happened. I don't know what people are saying. Somebody says, Coach, love your lives. I want to know what you think about Candace. What you think about what Candace talked about the girl who passed away in the movie theater. Oh, that's a great question. Thank you for asking me that. The thing about that lead, you remember the lead that Candace and Barron were talking about? And they were talking about how Erica knew that girl who was actually in the movie theater. I think a lot of people aren't picking up on what kind of lead that was. I was going to make a video about this. The kind of lead that was, in my opinion, shows, I guess it shows how much of an actor Erica is. And I don't mean within the movies. I mean within this whole, talk about the world being a stage, you know, very much an actor in that sense. It's always very oddly coincidental that the person who is currently Miss Arizona has all these weird connections, also knows somebody who's actually in this situation. You know what I mean? Like, it's very weird. It's very, very weird. Yeah. So the lead is very big because it shows that Erica's more connected than she seems. And when I say that, I mean, that's a big thing to say because she already seems so connected, but it shows that she's way more connected than she seems. That's what I gather when I hear that. I start thinking, okay, she knows this person that's in this theater. I believe what was the story? That person survived and then was in another thing and then didn't survive. I think that's what the whole story was. So when you hear all that, you have to understand how do you know this person? You know, and then, I mean, if you want to go really deep, what kind of, I don't know, I want to say like what kind of implications is that at that point when somebody all of a sudden, I don't know. There's some more that I want to say, but it's hard because I don't want to get into any accusatory type of place here. But it's very odd that she knew that person and that person passed away. It's a very odd occurrence to have happen. Not only am I the Miss Arizona, but I also knew someone in that theater and they died. Like, I don't know, it's weird. It's like when somebody says, you know, back in September, right? September 10th, but, you know, a day ahead. It's like when somebody says, oh, I knew someone that was on that plane, or I was supposed to be on that plane. And it's Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg said, I was supposed to be on that plane. And if I was on that plane, I would have gave those guys the what for. It's like, what? Why were you supposed to be? There's like 7 different famous people who are supposed to be on that plane. And then they just didn't go? Like, come on. It's just weird. It's weird. For me, when I hear that, it connects me to her being a part of all that Hollywood weirdness, that Hollywood deep state weirdness, you know? Let's keep going here. Somebody else said, let's keep going. Where is it? Come on, go up. There we go. Somebody else said, thank you for the information. The delivery makes it even better. Very entertaining. All the best to you and your fam. Thank you so much. Somebody says, I live in WI by a ski hill. They make fake snow. Whoa. Oh, let's go look at this. Hold on a second. Pardon me. They do what? They make fake snow all the time. Really? They make fake snow all the time. So I know they have the capabilities. Huh. That's interesting. I didn't know that. Why would they do that? Because ski season is during the winter. So if ski season is during the winter, why would you even have to do that? Isn't the mountain going to get hit with a crazy amount of snow anyway? I don't know anything about skiing. I could be completely wrong. I have no idea. That's really weird, though. Okay. So there you go. They have the ability. That's just another thing. I knew about cloud seeding. I didn't know about that, though. Let's keep going here. Tina says, oh, Tina's gone. Where's Tina? Ivan knocked Tina out of the way. Do patsies like Tyler Robinson actually have deals with the Gov where they actually get new identities in witness protection and a fabulous amount of taxpayer dollar sign? I don't know. I don't know if Tyler's going to get that. I have no idea. Lance is another story. That was what I was supposed to talk about. There is a video that Brian Enton just released where he's talking about Lance and why he had FBI protection and now he doesn't have FBI protection. Very, very odd video. Do I have the timestamps on that? If I do, I'm going to play that a little bit. Yeah, I do have a couple of timestamps on that. But Lance is a different story. I don't know if that's going to happen with Tyler. Tyler's already inside. Did it happen already? He already has a different identity and he's already gone. I don't know. It's really hard to tell with this whole thing because I don't know. It seems weird. There have been reports by people like Julian Dory who say they have people on the inside. Even Brian Enton. Actually, Brian didn't say it, but Julian Dory's guy did, where it's like 1,000-mile stare with Tyler. It's like the lights are on, but nobody's home kind of thing. So I don't know, man. I don't know. And here's the thing. Charlie was talking about it at the beginning of this whole thing. Is he a part of that Mortal Kombat Ultra? Right? I mean, you get deep into it. This is not even speculation. Memories can be implanted. You could implant a memory that you took a shot. They could do that. That's a possibility. That's a thing that they have the capability to do. It's not even like, hook up this machine. Nothing like that. They can just do that by talking to you. I've looked deeply into this. There's people who specialize in doing that kind of thing. So, I don't know. I mean, Tyler could be one of those guys. I mean, apparently he's like Charlie and he was in this gifted type of program or this advanced type of program. Right? So it's like, I don't know, man. It's all so weird. That's why so many people are hanging on to it, because it's like, man, we can't let this slip like JFK. You know, the people of the JFK time, they let it slip to where it's like, oh, I can't believe you don't know. Like, it's just gone now. Like, you just let everything slip away. We don't want to let it slip away. Long live Coach. Thank you so much. Wow, a whole bunch just popped up. Jeez. Okay, here. Let's come on. Where's Avery at? Yeah, we'll go here. We'll go Ivan. Hello, Ivan. How you doing? Take two, too early for this boomer. Ali and Chris are awesome. Fire and Ice. Who are they? Who are those people you're talking about? They go deep, never beg for likes and subs, honest and genuine. Sir Coach, never stop being you. Love your show. Thank you so much. Really, really appreciate that. Who are Ali and Chris? Is Chris Mr. Let Go? Who are those people? You have to specify. Avery Bella, nice simple name, you know? Nice simple name. Thank you. Even the numbers, nice and simple. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much. Alex Shop by Ice after Alex got hit by ice after leaning down to help pick the woman up that had been shoved to the ground. No justification, no excuses. If you watch it closely, again, that is actually not exact. It is what happened. You're 100% right. For some reason, holding on to the person falls. He is now falling. He's not picking her up exactly. He's now falling because he's now on the ground. She's away from where he couldn't possibly be helping her up. Again, there is no excuses and justifications, but what you're saying is not exactly what happened. That's not a solidly good faith argument to just be like, he was just like this. He wasn't like that. There was a point where he was reaching. Again, you have no idea what he was reaching for. You can't really prove that he was reaching for a firearm. And then he reaches again, but there's no firearm there. So all the guys who are on him should be able to say, did you disarmed him? Good. He's now disarmed. We're good, guys. But they didn't know that. They still thought there was some kind of firearm because it was announced by them. But there's like six chefs in the kitchen. If there was just 2 guys, one guy would just be like, got it. The other guy would be like, good. Okay, let's get this guy arrested. But because there was like 7 of them on one guy, all these hands and everything, you don't know what's going on. One guy lets off a shot, then all of a sudden a bunch of guys start letting off shots, and the guy's done before he even hits the ground, right? Yeah, it's very, very interesting. Very, very interesting how that's starting to happen. And a lot of people will say it's happening on purpose. A lot of people will say that it's happening in a different way. A lot of people will say he effed around and found out. A lot of people will say there's no justification. These guys need to be reeled in. They really need to be reeled in because this needs to stop happening. And I think it's a mix of both. I think it needs to not happen. I think they need to be able to conduct themselves in a way where that doesn't happen. And I also think there shouldn't be people who are on walkie-talkies being like, they're over here, guys. They're over here. They're going down the street. People in cars are like, oh, I see them. They start whistling and doing all sorts of that. Shouldn't be happening either. Like that's not what you should be doing, right? Especially it's like I don't know, man. It's like, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Like, I get it. You feel like you're a superhero. You feel like you're really fighting against the Orange Man. Orange Man bad, so you have to fight against Orange Man. I get it, but come on, man. You got to stop eventually. You can't just keep doing that. You can't just keep doing stuff like this. It's crazy because it's endangering other people. It's endangering everybody. Because now those guys, the ICE guys, they're riled up now. Right? So now they have this, they already have this mentality of us versus them. Then the people who are fighting against it, they have the mentality of us versus them. And that's how a war breaks out. It's like, I don't know, man. It's almost like, you know what it seems like to me? I always say this. I'm a very, very careful driver, like super careful. My brother says I get it from my dad. My dad was like Air Force. He was like super like, the speed limit is this. I'm going 3 below the speed limit. Like that's how I drive, just like instinctively. And I always notice that people will always have this idea that, oh, well, you're in the wrong. So when I hit you, it's your fault. And the other person thinks the same thing. Well, I think I'm doing the right thing. So if we hit each other, it's your fault, buddy. And I'm watching going, oh, but if you guys hit each other, one of you's going to die. Like, you realize that part, right? Like somebody's going to get hurt. And it's like that part just kind of leaves a person when they're driving, right? You'll see somebody taking an advanced green and somebody else is just like, nah, it's yellow. You shouldn't be doing this. And it's like, what are you guys doing? Are you guys going to kill each other? Are you guys just going to mistakenly kill each other? Like, are you sure this is the thing to do? And it's kind of like that's what they're doing. ICE is kind of like, well, we're going to do what we're going to do. And they're like, well, we're going to impede you. And like, they're just coming at each other. And it's like a game of chicken. It's like, what are you doing? It's going to be bad. It's already ending up bad, you know? Anyway, so let's keep going here. Come on. These things keep popping up. I'm not complaining, but geez. I'm trying to read what Sparky had to say. Now I can't even find Sparky. There's Sparky. There you go. Sorry about that, Sparky. U.S. law enforcement didn't get outrageously out of hand so often in past generations because the public would have stomped them out. Millennials and Gen Z are too quick to blame the victims of LE thugs. Are you saying LE thugs? Is that what you're saying? Or LE thugs? I don't know what LE stands for. And I don't speak French, so it's one of those two things. But yeah, the generations were a little different. Past generations were a little different. But also there was more respect in general in past generations. There was more respect given by law enforcement, I think. There was more respect given to law enforcement and from law enforcement. I think there was a lot more respect just in general in society. Now it's kind of like respect is kind of gone. Unless it's like, you know, there's certain people who just respect people regardless. I try to do that, but a lot of times it's just gone. It's just gone, and I'll be as crappy to you as I possibly can, and you'll do the same to me, and people just kind of accept that as the norm. It's really weird, actually. But it makes sense because we're getting used to communicating online, and there's no consequences. There's no Wayback Machine to put people into, right? So people just get as disrespectful as possible, and that starts to bleed out into real life. The same way we're getting to a point where there's a generation, the way they talk on the internet is the way that they're going to talk in public life. Generations who experienced the internet first, they started developing this thing where they realize, oh, I can talk like this on the internet, but I wouldn't talk like this in real life. The younger generations are like, who cares? It's all the same thing. Like, what am I differentiating for? And it makes sense because now there are live streamers who don't just do shows like this. They walk around. They're streaming and they're walking around. So it's literally like their internet life and their real life are becoming one. And there's a whole bunch of young people who are coming up like that right now. Florida mom, 85, 1 year older than me. The old vids of Erica anger me. Can you imagine CK watching her old videos late at night in bed? Scary to think that he may have felt what he may have felt when she found out she was a druid. Oh my gosh. Erica Thompson says we don't always get snow, so they make it spray on the hill. Oh, really? That's interesting. You would think a ski resort would be in a place where it's solidly gonna get hit with snow no matter what. You know? Like there's a place in where is it? I mean, there's Colorado and everything like that, but yeah, there's so many places that just get hit with snow hard, and that's where the ski resorts are. You know what I mean? Just like where would you have a beach resort? Are you gonna have it in Montana? It's like no, you put it in the place where the beach is good and it's always good. You know, you put that in Florida, you put that in Barbados, you put that in Jamaica. You know what I mean? You don't put it in Wisconsin, right? I don't know. Seems so weird to me. Didn't know that. Thank you for telling me that. Epstein versus Philly Patsy equals not dead. I mean, look into Robert Maxwell and how he passed away. Seems like Jeff was just trained by Robert, which is Justlene's dad. Cats Love the Moon says, I live by a ski resort. They have giant machines that blow snow onto the hill if it's cold enough outside. That's all it is. It's not coming from the sky. No. We're not saying it's coming from the sky. That's not what this lady's saying. When she says that they're making fake snow, she's talking about the same thing you are, that there's machines. Yeah. So that's exactly what she's saying. She's saying the exact same thing you are. She's just not specifying that it's machines, but it's obviously machines that are doing it. It's not. When she says fake snow, she doesn't mean there's a wizard that comes out and starts swirling things around like Harry Potter with a wand, you know? Or maybe she is. Maybe she is. Maybe she'll correct me and be like, no, I'm actually, I was saying that there was a wand involved and a Harry Potter-like spell. I was saying that actually. Maybe she'll jump in and say that. I don't know. But I don't think so. But when it comes to other places, when it comes to what I was talking about, there's no machines doing this. This is what I was talking about is very weird. If I could find the Instagram video, I wish I could find it. It's so deep in my Instagram videos that it'll be so hard to find, but it was a very weird. Actually, you know what? It might not be that far. Where is it? Let me see. If I can find, there it is. There it is. Save it. So save it. There we go. It was fog. It was supposed to be fog. Let me find this on Instagram real quick. Let me jump on Instagram and find this. Check this out. It's very weird. Very odd. I just saved it. So let's see if I can find it now. It was the most, it was fog and it was acting like snow. I've never seen fog do this before. Check this out. Check this out. Let's go here. Let's go. That is not fog. That is not fog. What is that? That's not how fog works. That's not how rain works. It's very weird. This shit. That is. It's very odd. It was very odd stuff. But yeah, let's keep going. Yeah, it was very, very, very weird stuff. 13,000 in the chat. Thank you guys for sitting with me like this. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Cats Love the Moon. You said nothing. Antonio, you said nothing. Appreciate you though, bud. Thank you so much. Just a fly on the wall, the quiet ones, you know? The quiet, decent men of the world. That's what Antonio there is. What a mess. Erica answers questions a lot like ChatGPT, pauses while formulating an answer, and then never directly answering the question asked. Maybe Mortal Kombat Ultra is now AI brain chips. Oh, I love that. Yeah. It's very weird. You know what it's like? It is like what you're saying, but it's also like a politician, the way a politician does it. They make sure to not answer the question. They make sure to say a bunch of stuff that addresses other things and paints other viewpoints, we could say. And then they just leave it at that. You know, I've noticed that quite a bit. You're 100% right about her doing that. I've noticed that she doesn't fully answer questions. Again, she might be being groomed for politics. I mean, I know a lot of people wouldn't like it, but she might just be being groomed for some kind of running. I mean, Frank Turk brought it up with Mikey McCoy. Mikey McCoy is basically an angel, so I would imagine he knows the future. That just might be what's going on here. In many parts of the South, ice storms are not unusual. Up north, like in Minneapolis, they have ice storms instead of... Sorry, they have... Oh, Sparky. Oh, they have ice storms instead of ice storms. You listen, let me tell you something. That's a solid joke. Listen, some people might not like that joke. You say that joke on stage, that's a solid joke. There's no fat on that joke. A lot of jokes have too much fat. You know what I mean? That was a very lean joke. Just 2 sentences, real nice, double entendre. That's a solid joke right there. Thank you very much, Sparky. I have to appreciate a good joke. I mean, really good. They're finding megalons in the snow. In the snow. This snow. What? Tina. She says the Gov had a hand with what happened with Charlie since he was a child, but he didn't get into his dream college. West Point seems sus at our current investigation level. Yeah, I think there was something going on from, again, I made videos about it. I think he was guided from a very early age. Like super early age. This guy was guided. Very guided. I mean, always had some kind of mentor around him at all times. It went from whoever that spiritual guy was that he had from Quest and into high school. to Bill Montgomery, who said, hey, don't go to college. You have to start this organization. Then when he passed away, he was surrounded by Frank Turek and Robert McCoy. And right up until he passed, he had those two around him. It's very weird, man. Does Tyler have a pardon? And if so, and for what, if so? Oh, Tyler Boyer, does he have a pardon? I don't know what his pardon's for. I don't know. We should find that out. You know what? I'm actually gonna write that down for the next episode. Tyler Tyler Boyer pardon. Why? Question mark. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he does. But he did get pardoned, but I don't know why. I have no idea why. What actually happened. Different now because it's all plastered all over the media. Don't know what that means. Ivan is Ivan. Allie is Allie Files. Chris is her partner. Allie Files is fire. And Chris is cool. Therefore, fire and ice. Come on, man. By the way, most ski resorts make snow, especially in the East Coast. I did not know that, man. I had no idea. And yeah, I didn't know that about Allie. It's funny. I talked to Allie too. I don't know anything other than she's a researcher. Is she Canadian? If she's Canadian and she's a researcher, I need a Canadian researcher. I wanna storm Canada. You know, I wanna just become #1 in Canada. Real easy, real smooth. If you ever check out what they got going on up there, no insult to anybody, but boring as milk. Just saying, boring as milk. All of them. Ice occupied idea. Thank you very much for that one. Eli. Is it Eli? They found text messages and group chats organizing the quote-unquote protests going all the way up to the gov involved in this foolery. Interesting. You know, if you're talking, my wife sent me something around what you're talking about. If it has to do with Cam Higbee, I find it very suspect. I know, well, I shouldn't say I know. I feel in my heart of opinions that he is a plant. He is a plant. I don't believe anything he does. I think when he sets up and talks to people like Charlie, I feel like that's set up. I don't feel like that's organic. I feel like everything he does is not organic. Even his trip to Philadelphia didn't feel organic. I'm saying I don't believe in anything. If it has to do with that guy, I have to look at it 2 and 3 times because I don't believe anything that guy does. I don't. He's like a right-wing Anderson Cooper type. That's what he is like to me. He's not like Nick Shirley or anything like that. Dave says artificial snow is water sprayed through a hose with high pressure and cold, i.e. regular snow. That's really weird. I've never heard of that before. Never. Cuz why on earth? I get it. Ski resorts, fine. But why on earth would you want? Why would you even want to look into making snow? It's the worst thing ever. It's the worst. There's nothing worse. Weather-wise? Oh my God, it's the worst thing. I remember one time I was in a snowy place, and this dude was from Brazil, and he had never experienced snow before in his life. And he said something so wise. He's like, it's like Mars. And I'm like, what? He goes, look, it's like Mars. And there was all these snow mountains because the snow plows were like pushing up all this snow. He's like, it's like Mars. You have to put on a spacesuit to go outside. All these mountains. He's like, this is crazy. He's like, how long? I'm like, bro, it's a season. It goes on for a while. He was shocked. And I'll never forget that. It's like Mars. When you go to a place that has snow and it's a snowstorm, it's Mars. You're in Mars. You're trapped. It's crazy. More popped up. Come on, you're pushing everything out of here. Sparky again. What up, Sparky? Newly developed areas in the U.S. have buried power cables. It's considered too disruptive to go into already developed areas and install buried cables. Bombed out from World War II and the UK. In the UK, started from scratch. True. That makes sense. You are a boomer, eh, Sparky? This guy's talking about World War II. This guy knows all about cables and whatnot. That's dad stuff. Sparky might even be a grandfather. Let me know, Sparky. I'd love to know. Cats Love the Moon, once again, says, I was in the GATE program in elementary school, and when I was a teenager, I had an accident that should have broken my arm, but it just bent the bone, and it's still bent 40 years later? Ah. God. That sounds terrible. But I still want to talk to you about it. Message me. All you people who are in the GATE program, please message me. Let's set up interviews. I want to talk about your experience. I would love to hear more about it and the tests that you went through. I'm really, really interested in that. Minneapolis has been flying their snow in from Somalia for years. Oh, man. Come on. Tyler was pardoned as a part of... Ah, really? That doesn't make any sense, right? That's really weird. Anytime someone says Philadelphia is our friend in the Middle East, what just happened? I think before we had any enemies in the Middle East, U.S. missionary. Okay, makes sense. Let's keep going here. Tyler was pardoned by Prez Orange regarding false statements made that, okay. So he was going to get locked up for that? That seems pretty messed up, honestly. Let me know if you'd like steak or chicken. See, that's the kind of wife I have. Steak, please. I love you. Not you, beautiful messy ball. I'm not talking to you. But I'm sure you're lovely. I'm sure you're a very lovely lady. Let's keep going here. And Tyler might get a sweet heart like Jeff. Anyways, guys, just wanted to get into all that. Thank you for all the support, you guys. You guys showed up to the tune of 17,000 people. That exceeded my goal. I wanted to get to, 12, 15. That's what I was looking to do. You guys really, really helped me push past that. I really appreciate it. You have no idea. Again, who knows what we're going to see in regards to Candace. We don't know if she's going to be out here. We don't know if she's going live or anything like that. She may or may not be going live. Hopefully she does. I mean, if she's tweeting, that means she must be back online. If she's back online, hopefully her people can actually get to her. And if they can, then we are going to be getting an episode today. But we will have to wait and see. And right now, I think soon Baron is going to be going live with Trigger Smart. And then I think Baron's a hustler. And I think he's going to go live again on his own channel afterwards. So if we don't get Candace, at least we'll get Baron on there. But I just wanted to read all those super chats, get all that done. And now I'm off to make another episode. I have to get a bunch of stuff together. We're going to cover that Tyler Robinson, Lance text thing. Brian Etten talks with like this FBI dude about it. And he kind of breaks down everything. And he's not really serving up Fed slop, which is very odd. I guess he's like ex bureau, but we'll see. We'll break all that down. Somebody just said, my teen mouse said, imagine Ben Shapitza arranging a storm, especially for Candace. I could listen to you all day, coach. Sending love and mints. Love from the UK. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Yeah, Ben did that just for Candace, just to make sure she didn't put an episode out. I feel that Ben would go that length to make sure Candace can't make an episode. 100%. And where he would get the money from to do it, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe from some place. I don't know what place he would get it from. What do they call them? BB bucks? Yeah, maybe some BB bucks. I don't know, though. Who knows? Maybe. Allegedly. Perhaps. No, I'm never supposed to say it like that. Allegedly, maybe, perhaps. There you go. Anyways, guys, I just wanted to bring all that to you guys. Thank you so much for being here again. Let's jump in the chat. As always, absolutely love you guys. Thank you for being so vocal. Please hit that like button. It is so appreciated and it helps the channel so much. You have no idea. It helps us tremendously. I am aggressively writing by in the messages just so you guys can see it. I love doing it and I love doing this. We'll be back tomorrow. Like I always say, we go Monday to Friday. On the weekend, I try to bring you guys some standalone episodes, so please expect that. Especially if you're somebody who likes the shorter episodes, the weekends are definitely for you. You are a weekend shifter, but always jump in here and check it out. We really do appreciate you guys. Please keep on showing up. We need the support more than ever. You have no idea. Anyways, I just wanted to bring all of that to you guys. Everybody saying bye in the chat. Keep saying chat. Somebody said Coach Colin for president. Absolutely not. It would just be like a circuit board and I'd just be ripping things out of the circuit board. I'd be like, let's go, take this out and take that out. It would be too wild. Anyways, guys, really appreciate all you guys being here. I have to end the stream. It's very sad, but I do have to end it. I will see you guys very soon tomorrow morning. Have a great rest of the day.